You're watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN+. The Big 12's Baylor Bears and the ACU Wildcats of the WAC facing off from Crutcher Scott Field. Welcome inside the studio, Coy Oslin, alongside my friend Ryan Fox. We've got some Wednesday night baseball. Baylor, obviously big conference team. ACU, smaller conference, very competitive. Ryan?
Yeah, Baylor Bears are coming off two big wins off of UCLA and LSU, two ranked teams that they were able to take down in Minute Maid Park. Really big wins for the Baylor Bears. Whereas the Wildcats are coming off a three-game sweep of Marist from last weekend where they had 11 home runs in just one game. So both teams have bats that are primed to strike.
Exactly right, Ryan. Very big weekend for the Wildcats. Let's take a look at our impact players. For Baylor, Jack Pineda, and for the Wildcats, Colton Eager.
Yeah, Jack Pineda's been red hot, slugging .479. He had a big home run that was able to put the Baylor Bears over ranked LSU and upset them in the Shriner Classic. Whereas if we go to ACU, Colton Eager is leading the Wildcats in almost every offensive statistic. Really a great all-around hitter and the heart of this ACU lineup.
Well, Ryan, nothing wrong with slugging .479 and nothing wrong with having a batting average that looks like a slugging percentage. Let's get ready with the first pitch here from Crutcher Scott Field. Well, the teams are out on the field. We are here at Crutcher Scott Field for some Wednesday evening baseball. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Pineda. We talked about Eager. Who are some other guys to you that are standing out?
Some other guys that are standing out for me has got to be Grayson Tatro for the Wildcats. He went 7 for 14 in the series against Marist, hitting .500, had 3 bombs, drove in 9 RBIs. Really just a fantastic hitter, got red hot, started a little bit slow, but he's been able to turn it on here for the Baylor Bears, or for the ACU Wildcats, excuse me.
Well, Ryan, I'm looking at Jared McKenzie, number 18 for Baylor, the sophomore outfielder, 6 foot 180, not a big guy, lefty. He's kind of in a bit of a slump right now, but he has got the accolades to his name. He's got everything that you need, and he's an outstanding player, obviously. Preseason all-second team a couple years back, number 47 on the MLB Pipeline Draft Top 100. Looking like we're getting ready to go here.
Yes, sir. Those ACU Wildcats are going to get ready to break it out, have a little meeting, talk to each other, and we'll get going with some nice Division I West Texas baseball here.
See Grayson Tatro there heading out to center field. Baylor Bears got some railbirds out there right now.
One thing to pay attention to here is if you take a look at those flags are blowing straight out to left field. When it is warm here in Abilene, Texas, and that left field wind is coming out, this place is a launching pad. These are about the similar weather conditions that ACU and Marist had on Saturday when ACU hit 11 home runs. They had 4,000 feet worth of home runs the last time they played in these weather conditions.
Of course, an outstanding series for ACU last weekend. Baylor didn't have too bad of a series themselves in the 2022 Shiners Classic at Minute Maid in Houston. They went 2-1. They beat number 23 UCLA 2-1. Lost to number 16 Tennessee. Went on to beat number 7 LSU in the final game of that. Fantastic efforts from the Bears last week. Very, very competitive team in situations where they're playing against ranked opponents.
Yep, and you'll notice that some teams, I mean, when the lights turn on and you see that number in front of their name, you want to take them down, and it gets a little bit harder. So we're going to see if these Baylor Bears can come out, compete against an unranked team, a team that they've traditionally had a lot of success for. They were 13-2, but this is a whole new look ACU Wildcat team. I mean, they've got a new coach. They won the regular season conference last year. They've got 7 all-conference hitters in the lineup tonight. So it'll be interesting, and hopefully we get a good competitive baseball game.
Of course, Rick McCarty, the head coach of the Wildcats, very big on rebuilding this team. As you take a look at the big lefty, Max Huffing, the southpaw, 2.0 ERA, 3 appearances, no starts this season, 9 innings pitched, 2 earned runs in those appearances. Batters hitting an average .219 off of this guy. What do you got for him, Ryan?
Man, Max, well, I actually had the pleasure of rooming with Max, and he is a huge 6'9", towering left-hander that has fantastic command of a fastball and just a wipeout slider. something going on here.
We
There's the rosin right there. Max didn't put the rosin behind the bag. Go. All right, boy.
Gotta keep track of your rosin, and here we go. The first pitch to Jack Pineda is in there for a strike, and we are underway from Crutcher Scott Field.
Exactly. That's exactly what Max needs to do. Just pound the zone with fastballs. Pound the zone with fastballs. Get ahead of these Baylor hitters and let his off-speed stuff work.
Pineda hitting .292 this season as that one falls just a tick outside.
Yeah, and I mean, for Pineda especially, this is going to be an interesting matchup because these Baylor Bears have a few lefties to start off, and that lefty-on-lefty matchup is something you don't see as a hitter often.
The 1-1. Outside for another ball, back-to-back balls from Huffing.
Max is trying to stay away from him a little bit here. I mean, as a lefty, if you can establish that outside fastball, it lets everything come back inside.
The pitch is swung on and for a strike.
Good sequence by Max, being able to locate that fastball, missed outside, able to come back with it, having faith in his stuff, really attacking Pineda here, not scared of the big bat.
Taking a quick look here at the Baylor lineup. The third pitch is in there, and he struck him out.
Oh, my gosh, got him looking. What a beautiful pitch. That was a great sequence by Max Huffling. Really just attacked him with fastballs, stayed consistent, and was able to just drop in the off-speed right there. Fantastic job.
Trey Richardson stepping into the box, the sophomore second baseman for the Bears, batting .250 this season. Huffing kicks and deals. Went for the butt and didn't exactly get it there, a little low and out of the zone.
Yeah, tried to lay down a bunt. I mean, the third baseman over there, Bender, was playing a little bit in. Geezer's even with the bag, so an interesting bunt scenario, but nonetheless, he tried it.
The 1-0 is high for a ball. 2-0 now, Huffing in the hole a little bit here. Went for the bunt again, that one.
And they're going to say it hit him in the box, so he's not out. As a reminder, folks, if you bunt and the ball hits you as you come out of the box, you are out. So tried to go for the 2-0 bunt. Guess he's trying to show off that speed, find a way to start this inning off, get a base runner on.
The pitch swung on and missed. Strike two. 2-2 now for Huffing.
He was out in front of that pitch. Great job by Max. Really, that's a hitter's count. You're looking dead red fastball, and he just drops in an off-speed pitch, gets him swinging out in front.
The pitch popped up and into the seats right in front of us.
Yeah, he might have been able to make a play on that. And especially, I mean, and both these teams are West Texas teams. Waco's a little more Central Texas, but they know that West Texas wind can really just create a tornado effect. And as a catcher, especially on those balls that are backspin, Tweed has to stay on that and make sure it is actually foul and doesn't get blown back into fair territory.
The pitch to Richardson. High, very close take there.
Tried to get him on the high cheese. Not a bad idea. Full count though here. I can't see him trying to go anything out of the zone. You got to throw a competitive pitch here. Whatever Max's best pitch is, that's what he's got to throw.
The 3-2, high and a walk for Richardson.
Not too pleased about that. He's going to throw the ball back too. Well, you had a great start for Max Huffling, that first batter. Really got ahead, but he fell behind that second batter. And I mean, walks kill you. Walks will kill you. You can as a pitcher, you can let guys get hits on you all day, but if you give up free bases, that's something that'll really be your downfall.
And here is Jared McKenzie, the sophomore out of Round Rock, the lefty. Having a down season, as you see a throw over to first, and Richardson is back in time.
And that's something that you're going to watch over there for Richardson. He's going to want to watch Max's toe that's on the rubber. If that toe comes up, he's picking off. If it goes down, digs into the ground, he's going home.
The pitch. Looked bunt, did not go for it. Ryan, what do you think their strategy here is with that bunt?
I mean, with that bunt, you have to get it down to first base. You have to make first base vacate that bag. Third base right now for the ACU Wildcats, Bender is really far in. You got to get it down to first base.
The 1-0 is taken.
Oh, wow, that looked like a strike to me.
Very, very close call there. As you see Richardson on first. He's a speedster. He will swipe a bag if you let him.
And that's what he's looking for, folks, right there, that toe, that front toe. He's got to see it come up. That means he's picking back. That means Huffling's coming over to first base. That's in the dirt and skips away. Wow. Costly spiked fastball there for Max Huffling.
That one got away from Tanner Tweet, the catcher today. Of course, usually that is Mitchell Dixon. He is playing second base for the first time in his collegiate career today.
Yeah, a little bit interesting decision by Coach Rick McCarty, but I think he has a lot of faith in Mitchell Dixon and Tanner Tweed. They've both been red hot, so might as well find a way to get them both into the lineup.
The 3-0 pitch from Huffling. Inside for a close strike call. You see Richardson moving around a lot on second there. Max is having to look back there and try to keep an eye on him.
I mean, and that's a fantastic take by McKenzie. 3-0, you're looking for your pitch. One pitch, one spot. You don't want to get too aggressive, take an inside fastball that might jam you on the hands and run yourself out of getting a free base, potentially even a hit.
The pitch is in for another strike, low in the zone. Very, very close call. This is a very tight strike zone today.
Tight strike zone, and Max really trusting his off-speed stuff. That was a 3-1 hitter's count, fastball count, and he's able to just go in, throw a slider, and really command it. Great job battling back from 3-0.
Well, and there's a lot of dedication that comes with that, a lot of guts that come with it too.
100%.
The pitch.
Tried to go with the slider again and just missed it.
Outside ball 4, he'll walk him.
Nothing real harm done there. I mean, that was the 3-hole. You did get behind 3-0. You had the base open, so really you weren't looking to try and give him anything he could nibble at, potentially score a run. But nonetheless, those 2 walks will start to hurt you. They start to add up, especially now that you got a runner in scoring position.
It'll be Kyle Nevin stepping into the box for the Bears right now. Nevin batting .250 with a .313 on base, .425 slugging. Son of Phil Nevin, who played 12 seasons in the majors, and his brother Tyler, he plays for the Orioles organization right now.
So he's got it running in the family.
Pitch is fouled back for a strike.
And that's what you got to know right there as a catcher. If you're calling pitches, especially if as a pitch caller, you got to see that ball fouled straight back. That was an outside pitch, fouled straight back into the net. So you got to know he's hunting fastball. He's on time with it. So you got to mix it up, maybe throw in a changeup or a slider. Really focus on trying to get him off balance, mess up his timing.
Huffling sets, checks back to second, and is looking to throw back. Richardson playing a bit of head games right now with Huffling.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a little bit of miscommunication between Dixon and Huffling. This is Dixon's first start at second base, so maybe Huffling did want to do an inside move. They've got plays on. They're giving signs to each other, so.
The 0-1 from Huffling. Fouled off to the right side.
Great job. He got him out in front, got him a little delayed swing, tried to stay back on that changeup. That's a great job by Max, mixing up his pitches, mixing up his looks, really just trying to get this hitter off balance, off time. Let's see if he can't get a strikeout here. That would be huge.
Huffling sets for the payoff pitch. High for a ball.
It's okay. Change the eye level right there. I mean, he's still ahead 1-2, and as a pitcher, when you get into a 1-2 count, you can almost do anything with a hitter. You can go north, south, east, west. Really, you're just trying to get him out in front, get him looking, trying to get him to swing through something, or weak contact potentially at second or short, see if you can't turn a double play.
Huffling looks in for the sign, looking back at second, still at Richardson. The pitch. Fouled back, looked at a hit and run there for Baylor.
Yeah, that ball was probably about a foot off the plate is what it looked like. Really just trying to do the hit and run, stay alive, but that's a blessing in disguise because Pineda got a huge jump off a second. One thing that Tanner Tweed's got to start thinking about there for the ACU catching, he's got to think about if Pineda gets another huge jump like that, he's got to be looking to throw to second base because there's no shot he can get that out at third.
McKenzie at first, Richardson at second. 2 on, 1 out, 1-2 count. In there, big strikeout for the lefty.
Got him looking. Wow. Max Huffling selling museum tickets. You can look, but you cannot touch. The clutch strikeout for Huffling right there.
Take a look at this one again. Right in there. Tweed wanted to frame it a little bit, but it didn't matter. That was a strike call one way or the other.
Nevin had to be guessing. Sitting off speed right there. Really just not expecting a fastball, and Max kind of got in his mind.
Chase Wesner steps in now, the first baseman for Baylor, the junior, batting .237 on the season.
Not bad. This is the matchup you want here if you are the Baylor Bears. You want that righty on lefty matchup. Makes it a little bit easier to hit because you see that ball coming into you as opposed from behind you.
The pitch is hit to center field. Going back, it's a gapper. 1 run scores. That's Richardson. McKenzie rounding third. The throw home is going to be to the cutoff man. 2 runs score for the Bears in the first. 2-0 Baylor.
Yep, and those are those walks coming back to bite you in the butt. You really just got to focus on, if you're Max Huffling, you can't give up any more free bases this game. You got to try and attack the strike zone, keep going after him with your fastball, and you really just got to try and limit the damage right now.
Wesner slugging .263 on the season. Got a nice little double there. Pad the stat book a little bit for him. Also got 2 runs for his team here in the first inning.
It's a nice little pick-me-up when you're struggling. See a nice little fastball down the middle right here, being able to just drill it into left center field. Great pitch by Huffling. Really trusting that slider, dropping it in for a strike. Getting away from that first pitch fastball, that's what most of these Baylor Bears were looking for. That's what was attacked last pitch by Wesner that was sent into the left center gap.
2 out, runner on second. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off to the right.
Just a touch laid on it. Really a great location on that outside corner by Max Huffling.
And they've come out swinging early in this first inning. They're not waiting on pitches. Definitely, they're going to hit anything that looks hittable.
Yep, and I mean that's a great approach. Really, as a hitter, you just want to work right field. You want to work your opposite field of your swing. Really focus on getting that fastball, seeing it deep. That lets you see all other curveballs, off speed, everything like that.
A big 0-2 pitch, low in the zone. Tweed tried to frame that one again. Looked a little close there.
Yeah, these umpires, they will be tight in games like these. And it's hard. It's frustrating as a pitcher. You think you make that perfect pitch. You think you get out of that inning, and it's frustrating to see that be called a ball.
Tweed looking in for the sign, now sets and deals. Fouled off to the right, another one in this at-bat.
Well, Huffling trying to go with the off-speed stuff there. He's been leaving it a little bit up, and you have to wonder if he's not getting into his legs. Usually as a pitcher, when you start leaving pitches up, when you start elevating, it's because you're not getting into your legs. And that often comes with being tired, and Huffling's been in a long inning so far, and he might be getting a little tired, causing him to throw up.
The first baseman, Wesner, still on second. Big opportunity here for the Bears to tack on a third one. Big opportunity for Huffling to get out of the inning. Let's see the 1-2 come. It's a chopper to first base.
Huffling's got to beat him to the bag. It's a close play, and they got him. Wow.
Very close, 3-1 out, puts him out of the inning. 2 runs for Baylor on good base running. See you next. Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field. The Baylor Bears lead 2-0 after a big first inning for their offense. 2 runs on a big double from the first baseman, Wesner. Taking a look at the starting pitcher for the Baylor Bears. Adam Muirhead, sophomore out of Rockport, Texas, 6'2", 180-pound right-handed pitcher. Only 1 appearance this season, 1 inning, 3 batters faced versus Tennessee last weekend. Ryan, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, Tennessee's a heck of a team to get your feet wet in. They've been outstanding offensively, and the fact that he was able to get out of an inning clean through Tennessee says he's got some stuff. So we'll see if he can command the zone really on these Wildcats. They're a fantastic group of hitters. They've got 7 all-conference hitters in the lineup starting tonight. So he's really going to have to come with his best stuff and be able to command 2, if not 3 pitches in the zone with consistency.
And you mentioned those big names for the Wildcats: Dixon, Randall, Eager, Cruz, Geezer, Ladisau, Tatro, Tweet, and Bender. All big bats for the Wildcats, 1 through 9. As you see, the normal leadoff man, Mitchell Dixon, today not the catcher but the second baseman stepping in.
Yep. Usually playing at catcher. He's got a great bat. Not really known for his power, but he can hit for average, and man, can he just find a barrel.
Also known for that mustache, as the first pitch is in there for a ball.
Yeah, Dixon's really just looking for his pitch, trying to see the ball deep, working the opposite side of the field, really just trying to get on.
The pitch to the big junior is outside for ball 2. Early 2-0 count for Muirhead.
I mean, these Wildcats can hit, and if you get behind in the count, they will make you pay. They do a great job of up-count swings and attacking the zone.
Pitch in there, finally gets his first strike, 2-1 count, and you said that they will use their bats. They saw it last weekend versus the Marist Red Foxes. As you see, Steve Rodriguez, 7th season, 177, 123 record. 2017 Big 12 Coach of the Year. That one is hit to left field, going back right in front of the track, going to make an easy fly out there in the sun.
Just got inside on him just a little bit. Jammed him enough so he couldn't extend on it, and it just stayed inside the ballpark. The flags have died a little bit, but I still think the ball is going to be jumping off the bats tonight.
That is number 9, Alex Gonzalez, the sophomore, playing left field for the Bears. As you see another one of these big ACU bats, the shortstop Bash Randall, step in. Randall batting .342 on his sophomore season. The pitch. Outside for strike 1, right on the corner.
Muirhead's really trying to establish that outside part of the zone. Once you establish the outside part of the zone as a pitcher, you can do anything you want. You can come back in, you can go off speed further out, you can go down and down. It's fantastic.
Randall swings at that one, rolls it back to the fence.
Yeah, a little in front on that curveball. Really tried to take a courageous hack. Thought it was an 0-1 fastball and just fouled it back.
It's the old saying, you can feel the wind coming off the bat up here.
I mean, 0-2, you can do almost anything with him, and this is where you go fastball in, I think, right here.
The pitch, off speed, outside.
Well, looks like I was wrong. I mean, it's a beautiful thing what you can do when you establish that outside fastball. You consistently hit it, then you can go off speed away, and then when you throw fastball inside to a hitter in a 1-2, 2-2 count, it looks about 5 mile an hour faster.
Rick McCarty, 4th season as head coach of the Wildcats. Big turnaround for this program as you see a 1-2 count now. Of course, McCarty last season, this team won the Southland Conference regular season championship, fell late to Sam Houston in the conference tournament. Definitely a lot of returners this year for this team.
And that game was a shootout. I think the final score was 15-13. It was insane.
The pitch is fouled off to the right. Big rip there for Bash Randall.
It's an interesting choice by Muirhead right now. He's really relying on that slider, not really attacking as much with the fastball, really trying to get outs with his off-speed stuff here. I wonder if it continues or he's just trying to do that against Bash Randall.
Randall catches his breath, sets his gear. Be a 2-2 pitch. Outside, little bouncer.
Yeah, this is something you can't do as a pitcher. You cannot get ahead on a guy 0-2 and throw 2 non-competitive pitches that allow him to just get back into this count and allow Bash to get into a full count. Really, you're even now, and it's a whole different mindset going from 0-2 to 3-2 as a hitter.
3-2 pitch to Randall. Another outside one, and he's going to take a walk. Started in an 0-2 count, walks Randall. Ryan, as your experience as a catcher, what are your thoughts about your pitcher in a situation where they start strong, don't exactly get the finish they want?
I mean, it's frustrating to see that, and it almost feels to me they were trying to be too perfect there, trying to really focus on getting slider on the outside corner instead of just working the zone. I mean, 0-2, you got to go after a hitter. You can't be too nitpicky, trying to be too fine with everything.
And here is the big slugger, Colton Eager. 409, 462, 705 on the slash. Amazing season. 166 OPS, and the first pitch is outside for a ball.
I actually had the pleasure of having Colton Eager as my locker mate when I played here at ACU. He's an outstanding guy, even better leader, and man, can he just mash the baseball. Probably one of the Wildcats' best all-around hitter. He can hit for pop, he can hit for average, and he's fast. Just a great athlete.
The last 2 seasons for Eager have been huge. 2021 First Team All-South Conference, 2021 Southland Conference Hitter of the Year. Took that award from Colton Cowser at Sam Houston, first-round pick for the Orioles. This season, 2022 preseason All-WAC outfielder and 2022 preseason Player of the Year in the WAC. Outstanding season for this slugger.
Not to mention he's got an absolute cannon in right field. I've seen him throw a few runners out in my day.
And he will use it on a 2-0 count, the pitch. Inside, gets a strike, 2-0 count. We've seen him do this earlier in the inning.
And he's 2-1 right here. It's hard to be in a 2-1 count and throw a up count fastball to a guy like Colton Eager. I mean, Colton Eager in this Wildcat offense will make you pay if you have to throw fastballs to get back into counts. So I'm interested to see if Muirhead relies on his off-speed here.
Randall about a 4-foot lead off first base as the pitch is down low for ball 3. 3-1 count now to the big slugger.
And tried to go with a slider, curveball type pitch right there. Really just buried it. Didn't have much command over it. It's going to be hard to try and throw that again. 3-1.
Randall gets another big lead off of first base. The 3-1 pitch to Eager is in there, and back-to-back walks to start off. Looking like we're going to get a big offensive showing between these two pitchers today.
Yeah, I mean, these teams really know how to hit, and that's a great job by Colton Eager, not trying to do too much, really just focusing on finding his pitch. He didn't get it, so he took the free base.
And here is another one of those big batters as you see a little mound visit here for the Baylor Bears, trying to figure something out with 2 on and 1 out.
You think they're talking about candlesticks and wedding presents?
Well, I don't think exactly we're talking about Bull Durham today, but I would hope that they'd have a little bit more fun out there. But right now it's a bit hard. You got 2 on, 1 out. Hard inning here for the Bears.
And you know what I actually think he's talking to him about? I think Muirhead's front side is coming out. I don't think he was designing to really establish the outside zone. His front side's been coming out. That's why he's been spiking fastballs into that left-handed batter's box right there, and that's why his curveball hasn't been able to get across. So I wonder if that's really what they're having a conversation about. Not much calm down, but hey, make sure you stay straight line. Don't throw that shoulder. Don't try to throw too hard.
And would you say that's even going to help him tip off his pickoff move maybe a little bit?
Yeah, especially, I mean, that front shoulder, if you let it open, it's on that finish. And sometimes it comes with trying to throw too hard, and you don't know if he's got a little bit of adrenaline in him. He's trying to make a name for himself, really just pump fastballs in there. But you got to focus on being loose. Baseball is a sport of just being relaxed. You can't try and throw stuff too hard.
And here's the 5'8" righty from Guayama, Puerto Rico. Senior outfielder Tommy Cruz, 2022 preseason all-WAC designated hitter. He takes an off-speed one there for a strike.
It's a good take by Tommy Cruz. You don't want to hit that. That's a fantastic comeback pitch right there. Really great job by Muirhead, and you don't want any part of that as a hitter. That's not any pitch you're looking for. You're looking for a fastball right now. Try and do some head count damage.
What do the old guys call that one, a beach ball?
Yep, exactly.
Inside, good take from Cruz.
Tommy Cruz might be one of my favorite ACU Wildcat hitters. I mean, he's just one of those guys where you look at, doesn't have the biggest size, doesn't have the biggest strength, but man, is he just one of those people that's just born to find barrels.
Did you see that take on the outside? A little bit of movement on that one, not too much. Tommy Cruz, of course, batting .400 this season. Another one of those Wildcats. Another one with the over 1,000 OPS this season. As you see, a pickoff attempt to Randall. That one almost went out of the glove of the shortstop.
I thought that ball was going to go into center field. Yeah, anytime you have a dot before any of your statistical categories, having a pretty good season.
See Randall leading off again. One pitch to Cruz. Good frame job there from the catcher.
Yeah, that might have been a gift from Kaylee right there. That ball looked a little bit outside. And still, if you watch Muirhead when he finishes, he's finishing almost towards the on-deck circle for the Wildcats. He's really letting his front side open. Might spell some trouble later.
A big 1-2 pitch for the Bears is shot into center field. A base hit for the Wildcats. Rounding first is Randall. The throw home, he slides in safe.
Beautiful piece of hitting by Tommy Cruz. He gets an off-speed pitch. He's able to stay on it, see it deep, line it the opposite way. Fantastic piece of hitting. Really gets this ACU offense going.
And a bold play to make on a 1-2 count. Take a look at the lead from Randall here. He is fast.
Yeah, Randall's got some speed. So does Randall. I mean, yeah, just great speed. Great job by Blaze Lambert sending him here and really keeping Eager at second base because the first baseman did a good job cutting that ball off, and Eager might have been thrown out if he attempted to go to third.
Slid in there like he was covered in grease. Here you are now. Hunter Geezer steps in. Big weekend for him last week versus Marist. Big opportunity here for him with 2 on, 1 out. The pitch. That was a strike, but it dropped and hit the ground there.
Oh, that's a little annoying as a catcher. I'm a big believer if you don't catch it, you don't get the strike call. That's tough to see.
A gift to Muirhead and Kaylee there from the umpire. Big lead for Tommy Cruz, maybe even 4 feet off the bag. The throw back to second.
Late call.
He's going to be safe. Very late call there. Looked like the ball might have hit him a little bit. Eager scrambling back to the bag there.
That was actually pretty good. That was a pretty good flash play. What you see right there is you see the second baseman is going to flash his glove, and that indicates to Muirhead he needs to pick immediately. Usually those are design plays or they're up to the discretion of the second baseman.
Second baseman Trey Richardson, of course, good base running in the first as that one's fouled off to the right by Geezer.
Yeah, got in on his hands a little bit, kind of blew him up. That was more of an 0-1 emergency hack on a fastball, but see if he can get back together, get his timing on. I think Hunter Geezer is probably one of the most dangerous bats right here because if he gets a hold of a ball, it will go.
Geezer, the graduate student here at ACU, infielder from Burleson, Texas, 6'3", 227. Lean players, that one is high. Those Wildcats, they look like they want to run out there.
I mean, and they're always aggressive on the base pass. That's one thing that Coach McCarty really stressed to us is you want to make the defense uncomfortable, make the pitcher uncomfortable, because if he's uncomfortable, he's not going to be focusing on throwing strikes. He's going to be focusing on you, and that helps your guy in the box.
The 1-2 to Geezer. Swung on, he whiffed at that one.
Yeah, that just looked like a swing. He saw it deep, and he picked it up, but just couldn't get his bat to it.
Fantastic pitch there from Muirhead, as you're going to see. Miller Ladisaw heading out to the bag right now.
I'm interested to see how this matchup goes because Muirhead's been missing inside a lot, and I think Miller Ladisaw is a fastball inside kind of hitter, especially on a lefty. I mean, that lefty on righty matchup, anytime you get opposite side hitter, opposite side arm, it's a great matchup for the hitter.
And it looked like Geezer was just a bit late on that strikeout call there, had the bat in the right location. The pitch to Ladisaw is bounced off to the left side.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest things as a hitter. You're trying to see the ball deep. You see that curveball, and you see that hump, and it looks like a fastball coming at your hip. It's going to hit you, and then it curves in, and at the last second you try to make a decision. You just can't pull the trigger fast enough.
Ladisaw, the sophomore out of Heath, Texas. Big part of this ACU lineup as far as getting out there and getting hits. The throw to second again. It's going to be a close call. He will be safe again. Shortstop thought he had it. Jack Pineda does not like the call. Very close play at second, Ryan.
And even like that, that's something that you're taught as a shortstop, as a first baseman. You are taught to run to the umpire and show that you think you got him out, because part of it is selling the out to the umpire. So that's a great job by Pineda trying to get that out call.
We make shows, not plays. Here's the pitch. Inside for a strike to Ladisaw.
Yeah, that's just a difficult pitch to hit. You don't want any part of that 0-1. That's just that's black on the hands, and that's a difficult pitch to do anything with.
Ladisaw batting .265 this season. Usually a pretty good batting average, but on this ACU team doesn't really stand out.
I would have loved to hit .265.
The pitch outside for a ball. It's looked like Muirhead's gotten a little bit more comfortable in there, Ryan. He's thrown a little bit better, got that first run out of the way. Okay, catch my breath, regroup, come back out.
Yeah, he's attacking more. It looks like he's not trying to nitpick, not trying to be too fine, starting to trust himself, and I think that mound visit from his coach really helped.
Muirhead looks in at the 1-2. Low, great take there from Ladisaw.
I mean, these ACU hitters are disciplined. That's one thing that hitting coach Craig Perry really, really stresses is know the zone, understand pitches, pick up pitches early, and focus on really just trying to see that ball deep, work in the opposite field.
The 2-2. Chopped. Picked up at short. Throw to second. Richardson got him. That's the inning. ACU scores one run on a couple of runners. Hey, stay with us. We've got Baylor in the top of the second.
In my small town, we focus on faith, family, and football. My journey of faith has defined who I am and whose I am. Knowing that, what could possibly stand in my way? I authored a book titled Life After Grace to encourage others to live out their purpose with their faith. I'm just a small town girl with bigger than the sky dreams. That's why I'm getting my degree online with ACU.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
I served our country in the military for 4 years. I was a pastor of a small church where I wore a lot of hats. I was the cleanup guy, the painter, the lawn guy, the preacher. You name it, I was doing it. We got a lot of calls of people needing counseling, and I was not equipped to help them. So now I'm pursuing my bachelor's and master's degree online with ACU. Someday, I'll serve my community as a counselor.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Wednesday night baseball back here at the Crutch. ACU Wildcats versus the Baylor Bears.
Going to get a little bit of a pitching change here, I believe, for the Wildcats. Going to see Henner Cervantes coming in, towing the slab for the Wildcats.
Cervantes, of course, a normal starter for this Wildcats rotation. Bit of an interesting situation. They're using Huffling as a bit of an opener, if you want to use major league terms.
That's one of the things you kind of have to think about as a manager, as a head coach for collegiate teams. You got to think about, yes, they want to win this game. Yes, this game means a lot. But at the end of the day, it is a midweek. And they've got conference play coming up in just 3 days. No, just 2 days, actually. So you really got to think about making sure you don't leave guys out there too long, preserving your best arms, preserving the bullets in the gun, as one will say, and making sure that you're ready to go in conference, because conference play is really what determines if you get into a regional, super regional, etc.
The Wildcats, of course, starting conference play this weekend versus UTRGV in Edinburgh, 3-game series. Of course, UTRGV has WAC preseason pitcher of the year, that is Kevin Stevens. The first pitch is in there for a strike, and we're underway in the second inning from ACU. The 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Big whiff there at the top of the zone.
Henry Cervantes is a high spin rate guy, and what that means is he can get the ball, he can snap the ball off and make it revolve at a high rate, and that makes it move a lot more. It makes it deceptive to hitters, harder to hit. Wow,
Fans not a big fan of that call there at home plate.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that call either. That was a good frame job by the catcher, Tanner Tweed.
The pitch is outside for a ball. 2-2 count now for the Bears. The pitch to Gonzalez. Outside, ball 3.
Oh, he wanted to go. He didn't. He held it back. That was a good job.
Good appeal to first there, too. Interesting take there. Wanted to go at that one. Looks like a lot of movement across the plate.
I wonder if they double him up here.
The pitch. Pop to the right side, not of play.
Nah, didn't want to risk it. Trying to attack hitters, get ahead of them. I understand it. It's a risky play. I mean, sometimes if you really trust a pitcher and his stuff's on, and you know you're in the third, fourth inning of him pitching, if you throw a curveball 2-2, you try and throw it 3-2.
The pitch to the sophomore righty is popped again to the right side for a foul ball. 3-2 count still. Gonzalez from Argyle, Texas, 5'11", 185, batting 158, 273, and 211, 483 OPS. The 3-2 pitch on the edge, no call walk, and a leadoff batter for the Bears.
That's close. That's an interesting pitch. That's one of the hardest pitches to frame as a catcher because you got to think you're trying to go up and bring it down. Let's see where this crosses. Ooh. I don't know about that. That's a iffy call. That looked like it was letters to me.
So Baylor gets another interesting call. Runner on first, and here is,
Oquendo.
the third baseman Oquendo, and he tries to bunt it.
That hit him in the box. Somebody had to pick that up. Home plate umpire was not paying attention on that one. Somebody had to pick that up. Yeah, they got it. Second base umpire picked that up. Interesting decision by the Bears, trying to play a little bit of small ball here, really forcing the hand of these Wildcats, get something moving, seeing if this Wildcat defense can't make any errors.
The batter Cardoza Oquendo, sophomore righty for the Bears.
If they show bunt again. Yeah, so this is going to be a sacrifice. He's got to get that bunt down. Tipped it. Wow.
Tips that one back and off the netting.
Yeah, as a head coach, that's something that you are not pleased with. I mean, teams work hours a week on bunting, and you really got to get that ball down, especially 0-1 with 2 attempts. You can't tip that ball. You can't do that. You got to do a job for your team.
Cardoza Oquendo, the senior from Dallas, Texas, 5'11", 175, batting 250 on the season. As you see, a huge leadoff from Gonzalez at first.
Wonder if they send him 0-2, thinking that off speed's going to come.
The pitch is outside. 1-2 count now for the Bears as they have a runner on first. They got a lot of offensive production in the first on walks, obviously 2 runs, big double to center field.
Yeah, walks, I think the major league average for the percentage of leadoff walk scores is around 40%. So if you walk that leadoff guy, that's about half the time he's coming in for a run, which is huge as a pitcher.
Pick off to first to Gonzalez. He's back in there safe. Cardoza Oquendo, transfer from Navarro College. The 1-2 pitch is in there, and it's in the dirt. The runner to second. Gonzalez swipes second on the bad pitch.
Yeah, I mean, the spiked fastball is probably one of the hardest pitches to block because it's coming in 90-plus miles an hour. It's tailing away from you, and you really have to react quickly. And I mean, it's it's a hard pitch to block. Still got to make that play, but nonetheless, one of the hardest pitches to block in baseball.
And Ryan, as a catcher, what can you do to train for pitches like that?
You got to set that hack attack up, and you just got to let it just eat you alive. I remember being in there, and our catching coach, Coach Lambert, would set that hack attack up, put it at the highest speed possible, and just blast balls in the dirt. And it hurts, let me tell you. You take some off the ribs, you take some off the shoulders, but really, I mean, it's at that point you just got to throw your whole body at it and just hope for the best.
3-2 count to Cardoza Akindu. The pitch. Whiffed it, that one. What a pitch for Cervantes.
Great job by Hinner. Really trusting his stuff. Threw a few balls there. Got a runner to second base, but really just stayed focused, stayed locked in, attacked the zone, and got a clutch strikeout right there.
A lot of movement on that pitch. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, that was a changeup right there, and especially when you go opposite hand, opposite batter, you don't want to go curveballs as they go away. They're much easier to slap, punch out in the opposite field. You want to go changeups. They run back in, and that's or they run away from the hitter. I'm sorry. They run away from the hitter, and that's exactly what happened right there.
So the low pitch pays off, gets one out for the Wildcats. 2-1 Baylor, runner on second as we take a peek at the next batter for Baylor, which will be Harrison Cayley.
And if you look at that right there, Tweed had to switch his signs that he was giving. He went from number signs. Hinner stepped off, switched it, and now they have to go to what's called nighttime signs, which is you're hitting different parts of your body because in the dusk, the lights, it's hard to see those fingers, so it allows Hinner to make sure he's throwing the right pitch and not cross up his catcher.
And if you take a peek there, they are running the pitches through Mitchell Dixon also, as that one is in there for a strike.
I actually think, I don't know if that's actually pickoffs right there is what they're doing through Mitchell Dixon. So they've got signs for if they want to pick off the runner. It's up to the discretion of the second baseman. Then he steps on the rubber, takes a look in, and gets the sign from his catcher for the pitch.
Dixon doing a good job with a lot of movement there at second. That one is in there for another ball. Low call, good frame job from Tweed though. We take a look at Harrison Cayley, the former Wildcat himself, here for the Bears, now playing at Crutcher Scott Field as the away team.
Yep, little bit interesting, change of uniform. Played 15 games for the Wildcats last year.
The pitch is absolutely belted down the right side, but foul.
Not a bad job. Saw that curveball in. That curveball was a little up, pulled the trigger on it, but was just a little late. That's a good swing. Got his barrel there. That's exactly where you want to stay. You want to stay curveballs away.
Gonzalez at second. Cervantes looks back, gets the sign and deals. Low for a ball, and it'll be a full count to Cayley.
Normally I would say you got a base open, but this is the Baylor 9-hole. You got to go after him. You got to try and get an out somehow right here. You can't walk him and let Pineda, who's the Baylor Bears' best hitter right now, get up with runner on first and second, one out.
Cayley only has 2 runs. The pitch swung on and fouled back.
Man.
So I was saying, Cayley only 2 runs batted in so far this season in 7 starts and 7 games played. 25 at-bats, batting .240. Not too bad of a season for him, transferring to a much bigger conference in the Big 12, obviously not starting conference play yet.
I mean, especially as a catcher, if you hit .240, that's a great number because you get all that wear and tear, and really you're focusing on catching a good game. Hitting's your second priority.
Cervantes looks back to second. Gonzalez retreats. The pitch. Low for ball 4 and a walk. 2 on. Now, it can't go without mentioning now, double play is set up. Opportunity here if they can keep the runners at first and second. Of course, Gonzalez at second. Cayley at first, 1 out. And you take a look here, Jack Pineda back in the box. Obviously, earlier on in the game, our player of the game to look at. Very productive season from him so far.
Great productive season, and I wonder, oh, and here comes a visit from the skipper, Coach Rick McCarty. Probably going to go talk to him a little bit, try and see if they can't calm him down.
So Ryan, in your time, obviously as a catcher, you've been a part of a lot of these conversations, and especially with the coach there. What as a catcher would you try to reiterate in that circle there?
I mean, really, it's just you got to go to your guy, and every guy's different. You got to understand. You got some guys that you really got to get onto. You got some guys that you just got to joke around with. You got to say, hey, did you see that crazy fan in the stands or something like that? And it's really you're trying to manage 20 different personalities and trying to just figure out what's the best move for your guy. Does he need to calm down? Does he need to get fired up? Does he need a pitch adjustment? Does he need confidence from the head coach? Really, and that's part of the hardest things about being a head coach, being a catcher. You got to manage those personalities and really work through it. So I think Coach McCarty has a really good feel for Henner Cervantes. Henner's pitched for him for 3 years. He's really just going out there, and I guarantee you he's telling him, hey, man, you got it. Trust your stuff. Throw that fastball. Fill up the zone. Don't be afraid. This is your mound. Go out there, get us back in here so we can come in and score some runs.
So McCarty heads back to the dugout. Pineda digs back in here, the shortstop for the Bears. Of course, batting .292 this season. I've already said that. Cervantes looking to get out of the inning here. Player on first and second. Big chance for him.
I wonder.
Low and inside. That one rolls away from Tweed.
I wonder if the move here is you try and go off speed away. So you throw that changeup, that tailing changeup that falls away from lefties. Try to get him out in front. See if you can't manufacture some kind of ground ball double play.
Was a catcher, would you want something on the ground?
You absolutely. In this scenario, you want something on the ground. Trust the arms in your infield.
Another one, same location. Looks like you went back to back with those.
Just trying to be too fine right here. Really, you just got to trust yourself. And if you get beat, you get beat. You just got to throw it up there.
Baylor leads 2-1. Each team has one hit. Also, interesting note there. Big game with the walks. Not a lot of base hits. That one is on the ground, and it is through the gap. And no, Randall caught it onto third. Bases loaded. Good save there from Bash Randall.
That's frustrating as a pitcher. You jam him inside, you get the pitch you want, but he just gets a little dying quail of a shift beater and is able to just get in there and load the bases. That's brutal.
As you take a look at the replay here on the ground, Randall, of course, speedster, gets the ball and throws to third. I mean,
that saves a run. That saves a run, and that prevents you from being, down 3-1 instead of 2-1 and having a runner on first and third in a first and third scenario.
And the best way to look at it, Ryan, right now is that, hey, we've got the force out at home. If that's an option, we can get a little chopper, maybe throw it home, try to double it up, maybe a 1-2-3 out.
Yeah, I mean, and it's right now you just got to keep attacking. Try and force something. Try and force something on the ground.
The big opportunity for the Bears is the pitch to Richardson is inside for a strike.
That's a big pitch right there. That is a fantastic pitch. It shows that Henner still has confidence. He's willing to go to his secondary stuff. He can command it, and that's something that asserts your presence back on the mound.
Gonzalez leading off at third. The pitch is hit on the ground to the second. Fielded by Dixon on to first. One run will score. That will be Gonzalez. It is 3-1 Bears in the second inning.
I mean, that's the pitch you want, but they had the middle infielders playing more of a double play depth, so Dixon was shaded more towards the second base side instead of the gap. I mean, he was able to range over, field the ball, but the only play you really have there is first base because all your momentum's going there, and if you try to turn two, there's no shot you're going to make it.
Good pick from the second baseman. Throws on to first. Good out for Dixon. Jared McKenzie steps back into the box. The pitch to the lefty is in there for a strike.
So if you watch right here, Henner Cervantes, he's delivering too early. He's giving away that the numbers mean nothing. So he's coming set right here. He looks, see how he looks away before the numbers are even out? So he already knows what pitch he's throwing. He's giving away which is the hot sign. So as the runner on second base, if you're Pineda, you need to see that and you need to know, okay, those last two numbers don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. So now you're trying to pick the first two numbers and you're trying to steal signs and help your team.
Pineda at second, Cayley at third, 3-1 Baylor. 2 out, the 0-2 pitch. Down and in the dirt again, or in the AstroTurf if you want to, but
not a bad pitch. 1-2. Really, you can do anything still here. You can go north, south, east, west, go in, go out, anything you want. That's a design shake right there. If you see the catcher, Tweed, shook his fist, they're trying to have a design shake for Hinner to shake his head, play a little bit of mind games with the batter in the box, make him think, hey, you know, maybe I'm thinking fastball, I'm shaking to a curveball, when really we're throwing a fastball, trying to get him off balance.
the 1-2 McKenzie is swung on and missed. A big out for Cervantes. We're going to take a break here. Stick with us. 3-1 Baylor.
In the top of the second, Bears score 1 run on 1 hit with 2 men left on base. Fans don't get to look forward to the 2022 softball WAC season. You don't want to miss out on games against Texas Tech and Carleton. So to come out and support the team this Friday, March 18th, as they'll take on Carleton State at 6 p.m. Again, that's Friday, March 18th. Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. at Hollywood Field. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field. 3-1 Baylor. Big inning for them last time. Utilized the walks and good base running. Got in a big scenario where they got a run. 3-1, of course, another pitching change. The Bears bringing in another pitcher, Brett Garcia, the sophomore right-hander. His first year at Baylor, transfer from Cypress College, from La Mirada, California, 6'1", 205, lean right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, and really the story for the difference in this game comes down to walks. I mean, we're even. Baylor has one more hit, but it was an infield single that was fielded by Bash Randall. Wasn't anything huge, but if you look at the walks, I mean, ACU only has 2, but they've given up 4 free bases. That's huge, especially in the first 2 innings.
Only 2 hits for Baylor, but 3 runs, 1 hit for the Wildcats. 1 run, bottom of the second. Tatro will be due up for the Wildcats. Of course, Grayson Tatro, you talked about a little bit. Center fielder for the Wildcats, junior from Mansfield, Texas. 6'4", 219, lefty on righty. 267 batting average this season. He was preseason all-WAC outfielder. Last year, he was the Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year for obvious reasons.
Got a little bit of swagger as he walks up to the plate. That's something that Coach Perry, the hitting coach for the ACU Wildcats, talks about a lot. Having a positive mentality, going up there strong, being confident. That's something that means a lot when you step in that box. Baseball, as Yogi Berra once said, 90% mental, the other half is physical.
The first pitch of the inning is outside for a ball. Tatro, not exactly what you would call a jacked player as far as strength goes, but when he gets under a ball, he can really send it into orbit.
I mean, he has some power, and it is line drive power. He can get behind the ball, really turn on it.
The pitch to Tatro is fouled back. 1-1 count now to the Wildcats center fielder.
He's got a little bit of speed, so you got your third baseman, Oquendo, playing in, making sure he doesn't drop a drag bunt, catch you sleeping, get a runner on for the Wildcats here. Good take right there. Really focusing on not swinging at anything, not trying to do too much. As a hitter, when you're down early, you got to stick to your game plan. You can't try to get too big. You can't try to get 4 runs back in one swing.
The pitch from Garcia is outside for a strike, right on the line there. Garcia this season, ERA 6.75 with a 250 whip. He's had 2.2 innings pitched, 3 runs on 3 hits. 2 of those runs were earned. 4 strikeouts, though, for the right-handed pitcher. As you see, the 2-2 pitch is in the dirt, and it'll be a full count.
Great job by Tatro, not biting at anything, and especially when you're a lefty facing that right-handed pitcher, or you're righty facing that left-handed pitcher. It's way easier to see that ball, see that curveball as it's coming into you and it's not starting from behind you.
The 3-2 is belted to right field.
My.
Going back at the track, he catches it in front of the wall. Outstanding play by the right fielder, Kyle Nevin.
I'm not going to lie, that ball had some juice on it, and it looks like it just hit a wall in right field and died. The wind was no help on that. I mean, he got all that baseball.
He got every ounce of it that he could, and I mean, he was 1 foot away from having a big play.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, even if that ball bounces off the wall, that speed that Tatro has, he was hustling out of that left-handed box. That might have been a triple. That's a huge play by Nevin right there. Great job. Great defensive play.
As you see Tanner Tweed step in, the catcher for the Wildcats on this season. He is batting .481 in 6 games. He started all 6 of those games, 27 at-bats, 13 hits. He scored 8 runs and 12 RBIs as he gets under 1 now.
I got too far under it. He might lose it. Nope. Stayed on it. Yep. Good barrel, just got too far under it. Really attacking fastballs. Not a bad job by Tanner Tweed there, but just dropped his shoulder just enough. Baseball is a game of inches. Inch too high, get a nice fly ball out to center field. Inch too low, get what Grayson Tatro just had, which is a line drive that hit the wall.
And that is the lefty Jared McKenzie in center field, number 18 for the Bears. Had to track that one a little bit, danced around with it, but was able to find it. As you see Riley Bender step in and hack at the first pitch he sees.
Nice swing. Very, very aggressive, courageous swing. You can tell a hitter's focusing on his pitch when he swings through. Well, not 1, but 2 curveballs. Really looking for a fastball right there.
Garcia looks like he's feeling it now. The 0-2 pitch. High.
I wonder if they go curveball again and that was a designed high pitch. Try and change the eye level. Go Bender away. Yep, that's exactly.
There you go. What a call, Ryan. 1-2-3 inning for Brett Garcia, number 35. Baylor leads 3-1. We'll see you next.
This year's sing song will be April 1st and 2nd at the Taylor County Coliseum. Visit ACUBASEBALL.com today for your sing song.
A West Texas sunset on a Wednesday night in Abilene, Texas. Baylor leads 3-1 in this interconference matchup between the Big 12 and the Western Athletic Conference. Top of the 3rd. Very quick 1-2-3 inning for Brett Garcia, last inning from Baylor.
I mean, really, really great outing. Got ahead with some fastballs. I mean, some mistakes more by Wildcat hitters than it was perfect pitching, but he was able to really attack the zone, command his off-speed and his fastball, and have some confidence up there. And that's exactly what Baylor needs to see out of the rest of its bullpen in order to hold on to this lead.
Jenner Cervantes back on the mound for the Wildcats. Got roughed up a little bit there, had a hard time with his location, got out of the inning before letting too many things happen. At one time had a full bases, ducks on the pond, didn't let anything happen.
And that's a thing that fires you up a little bit as a pitcher. Yeah, you gave up a run, but you got yourself out of a jam.
The first pitch is bounced out and foul from Kyle Nevin. Obviously saw him make that outstanding play on the track right there in front of the Wildcat bullpen in right field last inning.
Really great job by Nevin, just staying under the ball. He found the wall. See if he can't do a little bit on the offensive side of the ball too.
The 0-1 to Nevin. High for a ball just on the edge there. Very, very close game. You've got to be very on your pitches so far. That's what we've seen.
That's especially with two explosive offenses. You got to be able to command the zone.
Very good 1-1 pitch there from Cervantes. Nevin wanted to go, could not bring himself to do it.
I think that was a slider that he just dropped front door and really just tied his hands up. Thought about going, but couldn't pull the trigger.
The pitch to Nevin is outside, 2-2 count now.
Well, you've shown him just about every pitch in your arsenal. Gone inside, outside. Really right here, 2-2 count, you just got to go with your best pitch. You got to challenge him.
The 2-2 is fouled back. Nevin struck out in his first plate appearance. Big chance with 2-2 to start the inning right here for Cervantes.
And as a catcher, you're almost tempted to call the same pitch that you got him out on in the first inning, but it's a completely different pitcher.
Pitch is taken outside for a ball, and we've got another full count.
It's a tough spot to be in as a pitcher. You just can't, you cannot give away free bases. You just can't do it.
The 3-2 pitch is on the ground to Randall. Randall on to Geezer at first. Easy out there on the 6-3.
Great job. Great job by Henry Cervantes, not letting the hitter get away, trusting his stuff, going back and attacking the zone. Great job.
Very rare ground out there here in this game early on, I'm guessing. The pitch is outside for a ball. Take from Wesner. 1-0 count. The pitch swings at one on the hands. What a pitch from Cervantes.
Looked like King Arthur up there the way he was handling that sword. Wow, just tied him up.
Wesner doubled in his last plate appearance, driving across 2 runs on the ground.
Cervantes has to get over. Great job.
Great fielding. Geezer to Cervantes. 3-1 put out there. 2 early outs from Cervantes.
And that is what is called a PFP, pitcher fielding position. A lot of pitchers not known for being the greatest athletes, but did a good job hopping off the mound, getting to first base, and getting that out.
Take a look at it here. Not really a good piece of hitting. Tried to get a good angle on that one and put it up, but very good fielding from the Wildcats. Gets the out.
This could be a great inning, a great tone setter for Henry Cervantes. You just had a 1-2-3 inning get put up by your offense, by the Baylor pitching. If you can go out, answer tit for tat, get a 1-2-3 inning for the Baylor Bears, it can get your offense back in, make that pitcher go back out there, and try to focus on getting your offense out. It's a huge thing to be able to answer.
The pitch is fouled off to the left side. Antonio Valdez pitch hitting here for Cade Currington, the designated hitter. Interesting situation here. See a strike call there for Cervantes. The 0-2 pitch. Swung at that one. What a pitch.
That was absolutely disgusting. Just dropped it in. Great job by Henry Cervantes.
Hey, stick with us. What a strikeout.
I am a wife and a mother of 4. I work a full-time job and do catering on the side to help our family make all the ends meet. For years, I've dreamt about finishing my bachelor's degree, and I finally found ACU Online. The core values of the school really lined up with my faith, and I'm telling you, it is the only way I can move forward with my busy schedule. It's possible. You can work and get your education. ACU made it possible for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field, where the Baylor Bears have pulled out to an early 3-1 lead on 2 hits. We saw something interesting happen in the last inning, Ryan. We saw a pinch hitter for the designated hitter, Antonio Valdez, came in for Cade Currington. Really interesting situation there for the Bears.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, especially this early in the game. I wonder if maybe Baylor Bears head coach is trying to just give a new guy some looks, or maybe just didn't like the attitude of the DH. And I mean, it's always a mystery. You never really know.
The pitch to Dixon is high for a ball as we are back underway here in the 3rd inning. We talked about Dixon a lot, all conference catcher last season in the Southland, playing second base for the first time in his career today as he takes another one high in the zone, early 2-0 count.
Yeah, and Dixon just got jammed a little bit there in the 1st inning. Got a fastball inside, was able to turn on it, but couldn't get fully extended and flew out to the warning track.
The 2-0 pitch to Dixon is high. Another one high in the zone, trying to paint that line right there.
Yeah, and I think that's one of Dixon's only weaknesses is that high fastball. And I think that's what they're trying to go after him right there, because he's a flawless hitter anywhere else.
3-0 to Dixon. 3-1 the count. Baylor leads 3-1 here at the Crutcher Scott Field. The pitch 3-1 is in there for a strike. 3-2 worked back in the count.
Wow, great job by Garcia. Really bearing down, getting behind 3-0, coming back, throwing 2 good strikes. Let's see if you can't finish it off right here.
The 3-2 pitch on the ground to right field, and that one got a couple of those railbirds off in the dugout for the Wildcats.
Yes, it did. That was a solely defensive swing by Mitchell Dixon right there. Got a fastball up and in. Not a lot you can do with that pitch. Great job seeing it deep and really just trying to fight it off, get to the next pitch.
The 3-2. In there at the hands. Good walk. Leadoff walk for Dixon.
That's huge. That's huge. Mitchell Dixon does have a little bit of speed. I mean, that's a great take by Dixon, being able to go in there, not expand the zone, really focus on your zone, know where they're trying to pitch you, and being able to work a walk, get something going as you got the heart of your order coming up right here.
Last time he was up, he flew out to left field. Dixon gets on base for the first time this game as you see Bash Randall step in here. Randall, another one of these guys on the ACU roster, not exactly a big guy, but he's got a lot of power in that bat.
I think part of it.
You see a pickoff to first. Dixon had to get back there in time. Good thing he's a really tall guy. Good extension there on the slide back in.
And going back to what you said about power, I think part of it is, the strength training program here. It is the hitters themselves, but I got to give a lot of credit to Craig Perry. He's really taught these hitters how to have fluent, effective, efficient swings that really just maximize power, barrel path, and allow them to get to the right pitch at the right spot and succeed in ways that they've never been able to succeed before.
Randall takes a golf swing at one there in the turf. 0-1. Randall batting .342 on the season as he looks at the 0-1, and he just sent one in there. What a pitch from Garcia.
Yeah, I mean that's hard. You see a curveball fall off the plate. You swing at it almost in the left-handed batter's box. Then he comes back and throws a curveball that basically just drops in front of your front hip, and that's almost impossible to see and hit.
0-2 is on the ground and through the hole. Rounding to second is Dixon. Randall will hold up at first. They hold the runners. Runners on first and second now. Big chance for Hunter Geezer.
That is exactly what you want to see out of an ACU hitter if you are Craig Perry right now. He took that inside fastball, kept his hands through it. Yes, he got beat, but he was able to drill it the other way in a 1-2 count and find a way to keep himself alive and get on base. I mean, look at that.
Good piece
Completes
of
the
hitting.
swing. Fantastic job.
Great job. And Colton Eager, of course, batting. That is my mistake. Had my game notes mixed up a little bit there for Geezer and Eager. Runners on first and second for the Wildcats slugger. The pitch is in there. Tried to frame it there a little bit. Interesting one to frame there for Cayley.
If you look at Eager right there, that movement tells you everything you need to see. He got his swing started early. he was looking dead red fastball. And now that he's up 1-0, chances of him getting a fastball just skyrocketed, and this is getting a little more dangerous for Garcia the deeper he digs himself.
Eager takes that big power stance, almost Jeff Bagwell-like, as that one is outside.
That was a good comp right there, Jeff Bagwell. I can see that a little bit of Jeff Bagwell. He's got the power for sure.
I like my '90s sluggers. Don't take me wrong there. I like me a good batter from the '90s. Good first baseman. As you see Dixon taking a good lead off there at second, looking in. Garcia fakes back to second. Little effortless little toss there, but you could see a little bit of a fire under Dixon there.
A little bit of frustration, a little bit about, just get back to that bag.
The 2-0 pitch to Eager is frozen rope out, fouled that one, almost hit someone there on the sidelines. Good deal they ducked down there here at this full house at Crutcher Scott Field this evening.
Just a little bit in front of it. It was an inside fastball. Couldn't keep his hands quite inside. Just got a little bit out in front. Was able to hook that foul.
And if you're a pitcher, this tells you Eager wants one. He wants one bad right now.
He wants that fastball.
Garcia's 2-1 as he looks back at Dixon. What a frame job and an interesting call there. Cayley got what he wanted, though.
That looks about the same pitch that was called a ball literally in this at-bat. So, I mean, baseball is a game of inches, but it's hard as an umpire to call one a ball and then call one a strike in the same at-bat.
Well, and anyone will tell you, of course, baseball's a game of human error. As you see, the 2-2 is a big whiff and strikeout there for Garcia. Gets the 3-hole hitter.
Yeah, that is unfortunate right there for Colton Eager.
And here is Tommy Cruz. Got that single, drove in a run last at bat. Very big inning for him as you see Eager take a whiff of that big old 12-6 right there.
And that's just hard to do coming inside. I mean, the back foot curveball slider is one of the hardest pitches to hit. It looks so big, so juicy. You just feel like you can just absolutely demolish it and it drops off the table.
One out, the pitch to Cruz is outside for a ball.
That wasn't even close.
Well outside there from Garcia. He's handled himself very well in these bad counts that he's had. Great pitching, able to come back in there and get the strikeouts. You take a look at Mitchell Dixon there, the tall catcher playing second base today, but getting a lead off there and taking a peek in.
And he really does have a beautiful mustache. It's just...
We need to keep it on the record. You can't go without mentioning it. As you see a pitch in there, it's going to look like a 1-1 count now to Cruz.
Tommy Cruz, I believe, has the lone. Oh no, he's got the one hit in the first inning that helped score the Wildcats their first run, which is in basically the same situation. I mean, he's got to be thinking, play that memory in your head, focus on getting the ball up the middle. Center field's playing a little bit in, shaded to the right. See if you can't do some damage.
The pitch to the righty is fouled off to the right side, very close there. Of course, Cruz, you talk about big-time players making big-time plays. He's batting .400 this year. His OPS is a tick over 1,000 at 1070. 2022 preseason DH for the WAC. Big deal for this guy having a fantastic senior season.
And Tommy Cruz is just, I mean, he's a phenomenal guy. I used to joke with him. He was the smallest DH in all of Division I, but man, can he hit.
He's got that power as he takes one there. That was one I would have swung at. That was a hard pitch for him to take.
Yeah, I mean, and especially you really just got to focus on have your approach. See that curveball deep, and don't get too big here. Don't try to do too much. A ground ball in the hole scores you a run. Just try and chip away slowly.
The 2-2 pitch to Cruz. On the ground to second. The throw to second. On to first. What a out for Garcia. They get the 4-6-3. Dixon stops short. 3-1 Bears. We'll see you back here soon. Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field. Jenner Cervantes back on the mound for the Wildcats as the Bears lead 3-1. Big opportunity there in the last inning for the Bears. Good chance here for the Bears to take a bigger lead here at the Crutch.
We'll bring up the left fielder, Alex Gonzalez. He walked and scored a run the last time he was up. Pitch from Hinner. It'll be a fastball just low, taken for ball 1.
Good take there for the Bears batter.
Hinner looks in, finds a sign that he likes, and the pitch. Great frame job by Tweed, being able to bring that low ball up, and the count is now 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen that all day. These catchers are really trying to work the frame.
It's important to stay on that pitch. It's a curveball that was swung out. They're going to give him a check, and he went. So the count's going to go 1-2. They got him offering at the 1-2 curveball in the dirt, or the 1-1 curveball. I'm sorry, the count's now 1-2.
It looks like Cervantes, he's kind of found his groove after that big second inning for Baylor. The pitch, outside.
Tried to get him on the same pitch. Checked once, couldn't get it going, but now the count's 2-2. Like I said earlier, Gonzalez 0 for 0 in this game. Just has a walk, scored a run. That's going to be a line drive driven in the right field gap. Going back on it is eager. He's not going to be able to make it. Cuts it off, delivers into Mitchell Dixon, and that'll be a stand-up double for Alex Gonzalez. So the Bears start off the top half of the fourth with a double by Alex Gonzalez.
Good rip there for Gonzalez. Found that pocket there in right field. Running on Colton Eager, you talked about, he's got a bit of a nuke for an arm if you want to put it like that. And
yes.
Good base running there for the Bears.
Yes, he does. I thought Colton was going to hit that cut, and he went from foul pole to second base, which is not an easy throw to make. That was an absolute frozen rope. Next up, that'll bring the third baseman, Cardozo Akendo. Akendo struck out earlier in this game. His only at bat, 0 for 1. And the pitch squares around a bunt and can't get it down. Tweed takes a look back at second base, but decides not to throw it anyway. So they're going to say he offered at it. Count's going to be 0-1 as Hinner Cervantes toes the slab and looks in for the next pitch. Gonzalez has a decent-sized lead at second. Nothing too big, but he might take off on the catcher Tweed. Pitch, and that is swung on and fouled straight back. So Akendo finds himself in an early 0-2 hole as he tries to do a job and score the runner at second base.
Cardozo Akendo got a good bounce on that foul ball there. A lot of height on it. Big chop there. Couldn't get what he wanted, though.
Hinner Cervantes looks in, checks the runner, and delivers. The 0-2 is a chopper over to Geezer at first base. Coming on is Hinner Cervantes, and he flips it for out number 1. So, not the prettiest of swings, but Akendo is able to do a job and get the runner over to third base.
Well, you saw him trying to bunt early on. He got what he wanted done. That was it. Get it out, get a guy to third. You've got nothing to worry about here. All you got to do is get a rip, and you got a 3-1 lead. Looking at the replay here, just chop that one. Easy baseball. Good fielding from Cervantes. You talked about this a little bit earlier. He is a fantastic fielder off the mound.
Yep, does exactly what he's supposed to do. So now you've got Gonzalez at third base, Cayley up to bat. First pitch is a curveball swung on and fouled back. Just a little bit out in front of it. Looked like he held his swing up. Cayley, the former ACU Wildcat, steps in, tries to extend the lead now for Baylor. Counts on 1, there is 1 out. Wow, got him swinging at the high cheese. That brings the count to 0-2. Hinner Cervantes looking to shut the door early on Harrison Cayley, try and find himself one step closer to getting out of this inning.
And Ryan, what's it like taking a bat against your old pitcher? I don't know if you've ever done that, but what could you imagine that's like?
I mean, it's one of those things where, man, if you feel like you own a guy, I mean, you see your teammates maybe 7 times in a fall, each pitcher. You really get a good feel for them. You know what they want. As that ball's fouled off to the right side. An amazing catch by a fan, I think. Yeah, he caught that ball. Look at him flexing a little bit. Great catch by a fan. Count still 0-2. But, I mean, especially as a catcher, Harrison Cayley's caught Hinner Cervantes. He knows exactly what hitter wants to do with hitters. That kind of gives you a step up, or if you think too much, it can kind of hurt you. So you really got to find that middle as the pitch is here and a taken for a ball outside, 1-2. Gonzalez, decent lead at third. Hinner comes set, and the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be swung on and chopped foul at the Baylor Bear dugout.
Good chopper there from Cayley. Last time got a good chance. Walked around to third almost scored there, but Cervantes got out of the inning. Big chance for him here to do some damage, get a run across the board.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that, man, when you're playing your old team, you wanna try and show out. You know, you want to show the boys that, hey, you know, I still got it. I can still play a little bit. 1-2 pitches swung on in the dirt. Cayley's gonna take off for first base. Tweed almost throws it into right field. Thank goodness Hunter Geezer's 6'4", able to get up there, make the catch, and get the second out of the inning.
I know I've been taking your perspective a lot today, but I just want to know one more question. As a catcher, you've got a guy running to first, a guy at third. Is there any nervousness that comes over you in that situation?
100%. But it comes with experience, and what you got to do is you got to know, hey, I got to trust myself. There's no way that runner's going to take off. Trust your arm and just be able to deliver a strike straight at the chest of Hunter Geezer. I mean, he's a big target.
It's only throwing.
0-0 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Tweed, making sure it doesn't go to the backstop.
Tweed's done a great job behind the dish today.
Fantastic job. Had one pass ball that really should have been able to block, but everything else has been out in front or spiked fastballs that are just hard to get to. The 1-0 pitch. It's going to be a curveball that drops in there for a strike. So it's 1-1.
Nasty movement on that. What was that, 12-7?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, exactly. Those slurves right there, as they call them. Not so much a slider, not so much a curve, but really just hard pitches to hit in general, especially in a hitter's count. So 1-1's there. Swung on, tied him up inside. Wow. There's no chance he was getting to that pitch. Counts 1-2. You got 2 outs. Gonzalez is on third base, courtesy of a double, and he was hit over by Akindo. The pitch. It's going to be a curveball in the dirt. Gonzalez thought about it, but Tweed was able to keep it in front of him. It's a great job by Tweed saving a run right there.
Got to compliment Tweed a lot today. He's done fantastic. Of course, we've mentioned it, I feel like 1,000 times. Mitchell Dixon playing second base today, but a great job from Tweed behind the dish. Obviously, good opportunity for him. Obviously, someone who's been batting very well this season.
You got 2s across the board right here. And the pitch. It's going to be a curveball that's just skied. Just foul. No chance of getting it. No, I just noticed the wind's died down a little bit right there. I wonder if that's because it's gotten a little colder. Might have to focus as a Baylor hitter, not elevating the ball, but trying to stay on the ground. Low line drives win.
Cervantes, he's looking in a lot here. He really wants to make sure he gets the call that he wants.
Exactly. The 2-2 pitch. It's a big curveball. They tried to go inside curveball. Tweed had to shift out and get the curveball as it came outside. Missed his spot. Wasn't able to frame it. As a catcher, if you have to move any part of your body, there's no hope you're framing that pitch.
Great chance there from Pineda on that take, though. Fantastic take.
So you've got a full count. Payoff pitch. It's a slow chopper at Mitchell Dixon. Going on it. Took a second, but he was able to get it there in time to Hunter Geezer. Bobbled the ball a little bit, but was able to get the out. Hey, stick with us as we come back for the home half of the 4th inning. And welcome back, everybody, to Crutcher Scott Field as we get the home half of the fourth underway. Stepping up is the big bat of Hunter Geezer. Really looking to try and get on base, do some damage for the Wildcat offense, find a way to chip away. Got a close game here. It's 3-1, and we're going to see Garcia back on the mound for his third inning of work.
What a great 2 innings we've seen from him. Fantastic work.
Absolutely. So the first pitch is swung on, swung through by Hunter Geezer, and he'll be in a hole 0-1.
Geezer wanted every inch of that.
100%. These Wildcat hitters are focused on first pitch fastballs. As Garcia winds up and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Not even close, as that probably would have hit a left-handed batter.
We've seen that off speed from him a lot today, bouncing in there. Very, very interesting pitch. One of those that you're kind of wondering, why are you going back to that?
As you go for the 1-1 pitch right there, and it is up for ball 2, so the count's 2-1. I think a lot of that stems from potentially you're not trying to have your slider back up on a big hitter like Geezer. 2-1. That's swung on off the helmet of the catcher. Good move by the home plate umpire, giving him a second. I can tell you I've been hit in the face by many a foul ball, and you cannot get that taste of metal out your mouth for at least an inning. Yeah, look at this right here on the replay. It's him square in the mask. You can see the paint chip off. I mean, your ears are ringing. You get a little bit of taste of metal in your mouth. It's the worst.
Well, he
2-2.
went back to it.
It's a curveball that's up. The count will be full here.
Interesting call there at the home plate. I really thought that one painted the outside a little bit, but nevertheless, he gets the ball there.
Payoff pitch. It's going to be a fastball swung on and miss. So Geezer couldn't quite catch up to it and goes down on strikes. It'll be the first out of the inning.
We've talked a lot about Wildcats trying to attack those fastballs. You see it here, a violent swing from Geezer. I mean, barely caught up with the replay there.
Just got his doors blown off right there. Couldn't quite catch up to it. That'll bring up Miller Ladisaw, the left fielder for the Wildcats. Ladisaw grounded out to shortstop last time he was up. So he'll take an off-speed outside for ball 1. Wildcats trying to get something going as Miller Ladisaw takes that pitch for a strike. So the count's 1-1, 1 out in the inning. Wildcats chasing 2 runs.
Almost all curveballs and fastballs in this inning.
100%. Took that pitch, fastball outside. That'll be 2-1.
One ran away from him there at the end. Garcia trying to paint that corner again. Couldn't exactly get what he wanted.
It's hard. Pitching is probably one of the hardest things next to hitting in baseball. As the 2-1 is bounced about 50 feet in front of the zone. Tried to command that curveball, but he just doesn't have a feel for it.
Got a quick question. What is the third thing in baseball?
The third thing?
Yeah, there you go. You said the 2 hardest things in baseball.
There isn't a third thing. Hitting and fielding. Being able to keep a straight head. Anyway, Miller Ladisaw fouls that ball back, so the count's going to be full at 3-2. Garcia looks in, finds the sign, and delivers. Yeah, fastball high that swung through, so Garcia is rolling here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He's got 2 strikeouts.
Violent swing here from Ladisaw. He wanted every inch of that one, but that one just had way too much movement on there for the Wildcats outfielder.
So Garcia has 4 strikeouts in 2 2/3 work. Really just making light work of these ACU hitters. Tatro's caught out in front of that right there. Okay, I got a player comp for you. You ready for this? Grayson Tatro?
Yeah.
100 pence. See a little bit?
I'll take it. Got the movement, got a violent
a little
swing.
bit in the batting stance a little bit, you know. Doesn't throw as weird, but so that 0-1's taken in the dirt. It's 1-1.
As we continue to compare players to Houston Astros, NL legends.
I totally forgot he was Astro too. I remember him as a Giant.
Oh.
The 1-1. This will be a curveball that drops, but too low, so it's going to be a 2-1 count now.
Grayson really used that power last at bat. We saw him that deep fly out to right field, right in front of it. Good catching there out in the outfield.
2-1 pitch. It's going to be a curveball that drops in for a strike. So now the count's 2-2. Tatro's seen every pitch that he has. Really got to focus here on seeing the ball deep, focusing on the right or the left side of the field. I'm sorry, that's his opposite side. The 2-2. It's going to be just a bit outside, moving the count to full 3-2.
It's looked like the pace of play has changed a little bit in this at bat. It's not all fastballs. It's not go, 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 go. It's slowed down a bit, and I think that's maybe something he learned from his last at bat facing Tatro.
100%, 100%. The payoff pitch right here. It's going to be a ball driven straight up to center field. It's going to get down, and Tatro's going to have himself a 2-out single. So a little bit of life. They finally get to Garcia, get a hit off of him, and have a base runner on.
Take a look at the replay here. He got one low in the zone and chipped it into the logo in center field there. Good fielding there. Good read for Jared McKenzie. See Tatro there on first now. 1 out, 2 out. I mean, 1 on, 2 out, excuse me.
That'll bring up the catcher, Tanner Tweed. Tanner flew out to center field last time he was up. Just got under a fastball. So that's going to be a curveball that drops in there for strike 1. So he's behind early. Garcia really being able to command both the fastball and the curveball.
Tweed, of course, one of these players on ACU who's batting well over 300, having a fantastic season.
Wanted to take that as a curveball up in the zone. Wanted to swing, but held back, and he made the right call. That was a ball, so the count will be 1-1.
As a pitcher, that's got to hurt when you can't get a guy to chase that.
Oh, you want those so badly, especially when you've been trying to get out of an inning. Oh, Tatro almost caught stealing, but the throw was high. He wanted to go. He was leaning, but the throw was high, and so he couldn't get Garcia couldn't get the throw there in time. You see him take a step towards second base like he wanted to go.
Wesner, great job fielding on that. We're getting a good jump.
1-1 pitch. It's going to be drilled into center field. Coming on it is McKenzie, but it was straight right to him. So Tanner Tweed hits the ball hard, but doesn't get anything out of it. And that'll take us out of the home half of the 4th. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Crutcher Scott Field as Henner Cervantes toes the slab for the visiting half of the 5th inning. Wildcats are down 3-1. Henner Cervantes trying to keep that lead there, trying not to make the lead any bigger. Wildcats offense tried to get something going last inning, but couldn't quite come up. There was a hard hit by Tanner Tweed, center field, but it's fielded nonetheless by the outfielder McKenzie for the final out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Richardson, as we get the top half of the fifths going.
Trey Richardson, we've talked about it already. Speedster for Baylor on the bags. Definitely a guy Cervantes doesn't want to put back on base. He got a walk in the first. He grounded out to the second baseman last inning. His first pitch is in there.
It's a great job by Cervantes, really commanding the secondary pitches, getting that that curveball to get over for strike one. The 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be a ball on the outside corner. So the count's now even at 1-1. Richardson, 0 for 1 in the game, walked his last time up and scored the Baylor Bears' first run of this game. So 1-1 pitch is a curveball low, taken for ball 2. Henry Cervantes trying to get back in the count, but that 2-1 pitch is low again, and now he's behind 3-1.
Interesting strike zone on Richardson, definitely. Cervantes just trying to find the zone here, stay alive on a 3-1.
Pitch. It's going to be in there. Oh, they gave him his base, and Henry Cervantes is not happy about that, showing a little bit of emotion.
All you can do is rebound from those situations. Obviously, as a pitcher, you never want to end up in a situation where you're down in the count and you're out and away and you've got a guy on first who's fast. We mentioned that at the beginning of this inning, but now you've got another batter coming up in Jared McKenzie, who a little cold this season, but definitely having a hard time.
That's a strike.
See the call there, very low in the zone, but not exactly where he wanted it.
The 0-0 pitch. Richardson's got a decent lead, as it's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. Richardson's got some speed on him, tried to steal third in the bottom or the top of the second inning, but couldn't get there because it was a foul ball. See if he goes here. Henry Cervantes behind 1-0. Pitch, it's grounded up the middle, prime double play ball, but Richardson was too fast, so Dixon has to switch and go over to first base, and not in time, so both base runners are safe.
A little bit of hesitation there from Dixon, and it's got to go without asking, you know, what do you think? Do you think maybe having a more experienced second baseman there would have benefited the Wildcats in this situation?
Yes, I 100% think so, as that base runner is safe. 100%. Wow. Just didn't attack it as fast as he should have.
What smart base running from Baylor. Super aggressive running from Richardson. Talked about it 3 or 4 times already this inning, but he's going to go out there and he's going to get around the base paths.
Here comes the skipper for the ACU Wildcats, Coach McCarty, out to go talk to his entire team. There's a little bit of action in the Wildcat bullpen. See if we're making a pitching change here, or this is more of a confidence kind of a talk.
That is Drake Boggin in the bullpen for the Wildcats, warming up the sophomore righty.
You can see by Coach McCarty's body language right here. He's staying calm, talking to his player, being assertive, but making sure he's coaching him well, trying to make sure that he can instill some confidence back in. Boggin seems like he's coming out.
And he is. Called to the bullpen for the Wildcats.
So Henry Cervantes is coming out of this game. Chris Boggin is going to come in for the Wildcats. A little bit of a pitching change here.
Not exactly what you've got to think what Coach McCarty would have wanted from his team today. Obviously only 5 innings, 3 pitchers already. Used that opener. It didn't exactly go his way, but Cervantes hasn't looked too bad this early on.
No, I mean, couple of scoreless innings, really commanded the zone. He just got unlucky there. Thought he had a double play ball, and he couldn't quite come up with it. Overall, good outing by Cervantes, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
This season, Boggin's 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts this season for the righty. From Louisville, Texas. So Ryan, you know, we're here 3-1 ball game. ACU's held strong. They have not the situation they want to be in. Got to get the bats going, and Garcia pitching for Baylor has looked fantastic. Great outing from him. But what do you want to see if you're Coach Rick McCarty?
I mean, if you're Coach Rick McCarty right here, you're calling on one of your guys, Chris Boggin. You're trying to get him into this game, try to get ground balls, try to get outs, limit the damage, right? I mean, maybe you can be okay with giving up 1 run, maybe 2, but you're trying to limit the damage, get out of this inning, try and be clean, try to get that offense back in there, that potent offense that just needs a chance to kind of get going.
Of course, you see Boggins on the mound there. That's a bit of a good outfield right there if I've ever seen one with my own eyes. Tatro, Eager, and Ladisaw.
I mean, those are some guys that can hit, having a little fun out there, talking to each other. It's good to stay lighthearted, especially in games like these. You have that sun go down, it gets a little chilly. Really just trying to make sure you stay warm, have some fun. So Richardson leads off second base. You've got McKenzie over at first. That'll bring up Kyle Nevin, the right fielder. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Got a strikeout and a ground out to short. Boggin taking a second to find the sign from the catcher. Finally finds it. And delivers. It's going to be a fastball, maybe a triple play here. Steps on the bag, tries to throw over to first, holds the ball smartly, and is able to get at least 1 out. Wow, I thought that ball might have been hard enough to be a triple play ball. Very rare that you see it, but those are the balls you see it on, but it just bounced high enough that Bender had to go up. He made the play, got the out, and Boggin gets 1 pitch, 1 out as he comes in here at the top of the 5th.
What a great play from Riley Bender. Fantastic awareness of the base runners, knowing not to make a throw, could overthrow it, could miss. That's trouble.
A great job doing that fake. He knows he's not going to get the runner, so he tries to get the runner off at second. The 0-0 pitch. It's going to be a curveball that doesn't drop in there. It's too high. Wow. So the home plate umpire, in my opinion, having a little bit of 2 different strike zones for the Baylor Bears and the ACU Wildcats. So that brings the count to 1-0. Richardson still, no, excuse me. McKenzie's now at second base. As that ball is swung through, bringing the count to 1-1. So you've got McKenzie leading off at second base. Nevin is now at first, 1 out in the inning, and the Baylor Bears are trying to tack on to this 3-1 or this 2-run lead.
And you got Richardson out too. That's a big out on the base paths for the Wildcats.
Especially with that speed, any ball into the outfield would have been an automatic run for Richardson. As they take off here on a hit and run, but that ball is lined foul.
Boy, they don't go much deeper as a foul ball than that one does.
No, they do not. Just needed to straighten it out a little bit. Colton Eager shifting, playing true right field, not playing the line. That ball would have gotten down and definitely plated both Nevins and McKenzie.
Not really a shift for the Wildcats. More or less the left fielder and right fielder kind of hugging in on the center fielder, Tatro.
100%. Counts 1-2. There is 1 out, courtesy of the ground out by Nevin. Pitch. It's a curveball that swung through. Oh, Boggin walked off thinking there were 2 outs. It was really the 2nd out of the inning. Great strikeout. Really good job by Boggin coming in, bearing down, and getting the first 2 outs. So that'll bring up the pinch. Well, that'll bring up the designated hitter, Antonio Valdez. He pinch hit for Kurgan in the 2nd inning. Interesting move by the coach, as he's going to take ball 1. This counts 1-1. 2 outs. McKenzie leads off second base. Nevin over at first. Bender is hugging the line, and there's a gap in the 5-6 hole. Shortstop playing real close to the bag here. The 1-0 pitch. Boggin's going to take an inside move and just kind of take a look, back at McKenzie, make sure he's keeping him honest.
Valdez, he takes a very big stride there in the box. Uses every inch of that inside of the plate as he can get.
Yes, he does. Struck out swinging his last time up, as that's going to be a curveball that drops in there for strike one. So Boggin having a really good job commanding his off-speed pitches here as it counts 1-1.
Got the stirrup socks high, and Boggin looking good here in the 5th inning. Big chance to get out of an inning here for him.
This could be huge for Boggin. Coming in, runners in scoring position if he can get out of this right here.
Well, then you've got to capitalize on it. That's the biggest part of this.
The 1-1 drops the same curveball in there again. Great job commanding the backdoor curveball, getting it to start away from the plate and come into a lefty. Gets him looking, so the count's now 1-2.
What a great job on the frame there from Tweed. Running it up the side like Charlie Russell with a baseball glove, painting it real good there on the edge.
Would not be surprised if they go fastball here. The 1-2 pitch. It's a curveball. The crowd wanted it. Didn't quite get it. So now the count's 2-2. They tripled him up on curveballs. Will they throw it a 4th time?
Can I make a prediction?
100%.
They're going heat right here.
You think? I think so too. I think they're going to go inside heat, try to blow the doors off of him right here.
High and inside, that's what I was going to say.
Counts 2-2. Oh, the curveball got him out in front, so they quadrupled him up through 4 curveballs in a row. Great job by the hitter, Valdez. Not trying to guess, staying on it, fighting, living another day. Count still 2-2.
Valdez batting .267 with runners in scoring position this season. Not having the best season, but batting .179 overall this year. Trying to get in a groove here, and I think they found that he can't really hit that curveball.
The pitch, the payoff pitch, it's chopped weakly. Hunter Geezer coming onto it, and he takes it himself. So Boggin comes in, gets himself out of a jam, and provides the spark that this ACU Wildcat team might need to get some runs back. We'll be back after this break.
Great timing there.
Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field as we get the home half of the 5th inning underway. The score is 3-1 in favor of the Baylor Bears. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Baylor Bears. It's going to be Matt Volker. He's a senior. He's a senior out of Granite Bay, California. So Matt Volker, the pitcher for the Baylor Bears. They took out Garcia, who put up 3 scoreless innings for the Wildcats, held them at bay, and had 4 strikeouts. Great outing by Garcia, and now we're going to have the 9-hole up for the Wildcats.
Excuse us, that's Golb.
It's Grant Golb is the pitcher, excuse us. Right-handed pitcher. Sophomore from Southlake, Texas. There's a bunt laid down but popped directly up to the catcher. That's going to be an out for It's the first out of the inning. Wow. Very rarely do you see the old pop up to the catcher from the bunt. That's a little deflating. Here tried to square around and just popped it straight up. Couldn't get it down. Nice play by Kaylee being able to come through it and get the out. So that brings up the all-conference hitter Mitchell Dixon as he looks at strike one on the inside part of the plate.
A little bit on Golem. He's 6'1", 185 out of South Lake Carroll High School.
That's going to be ball one, just up and in on Mitchell Dixon. So the count is now 1-1.
2 appearances for him this season. Went a third of an inning versus Maryland and 1 inning versus Rice.
So that pitch is fouled straight back. The count's now 1-2. They're really challenging Mitchell Dixon high and inside. They're trying to see if he can prove that he can hit that pitch. Dixon is 0 for 1 on the day, walked back in the 4th inning. As he checks his swing right there, able to hold up on the curveball on the outside part of the plate. The count's now 2-2.
An interesting situation there. Didn't appeal to first. The home plate umpire, that is, did not appeal to first. Interesting situation there.
It's the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be a curveball. Got Mitchell Dixon reaching. He's got some speed. The throw over to first base. The umpire says they got him in time. So Mitchell Dixon got out in front on a curveball and grounded out to the third baseman, Akendo. Get a look at this right here.
Dixon tried to leg this one out. Could not with that big frame. He was chugging down the first baseline, though.
Yeah, he was out 100%. The ball got there first. That'll bring up Bash Randall. Randall 1 for 1 in the game. Scored ACU's only run. Take that pitch low for ball 1. Counts 1-0. Randall, one of only 3 Wildcats to get a hit this entire game. So that ball swung on, but sliced foul. So now finds himself in an even count, 1-1. Trying to find a way to get on base, help his team.
Good so far here in relief from Golem.
Looks in, and the pitch. It's going to be a curveball that misses inside. So the count's 2-1.
Good movement on that curveball high in the zone. Randall had to lay off of that one. That one's a hard one to lay off of.
Yes, it is. It looks like a beach ball coming at you, and you feel like you can just take it to the moon. Great discipline as he lays off another inside pitch. That'll move the count to 3-1. So Randall trying to get a little bit going for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the 5th. So swing on that pitch and pull it foul just a bit ahead of the fastball, so the count's now full. There's 2 outs. ACU's trailing by 2 runs, bottom of the 5th. And the pitch. A little bit of an emergency hack as that fastball is tailing in on the hands of Randall. Not too happy with himself. Kind of an off-balance swing right there. Does a good job fighting it off and staying alive.
Randall, he's fighting for his life there at the plate. Taking some good hacks, though, getting contact. That's what's important.
100%. Staying alive, live to fight another day. Payoff pitch here for Golem. It's going to be a curveball that just misses the outstretching bat of Randall, so they get him down swinging, and Golem has a 1-2-3 inning for the Wildcats. We'll be right back after this break.
The world needs more light bringers and courageous leaders who inspire us, game changers and risk takers who never play small, creative thinkers and God seekers who uplift us. You see, the future is ours to create. We hold it in our hearts. We mold it with our hands. We light the fire within.
In my small town, we focus on faith, family, and football. My journey of faith has defined who I am and whose I am. Knowing that, what could possibly stand in my way? I authored a book titled Life After Grace to encourage others to live out their purpose with their faith. I'm just a small town girl with bigger than the sky dreams. That's why I'm getting my degree online with ACU.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Welcome back to Crutcher Scott Field. You take another look at that big daddy hack from Bash Randall. Big old strikeout there for the Baylor Bears. Back on the mound for the Wildcats, Drake Boggin came in here, stirrups high, ready to get a good inning and did a great job holding the Bears to no runs last inning. They had a couple of runners on base. As you see everyone warming up. Tanner Tweed back behind the dish for the Wildcats.
Were you ever a stirrups guy when you played? Did you ever?
No, but I tell you, I think the stirrups they had maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 more velo.
That's
to your
a
fastball.
statistical fact.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd see nothing wrong with that.
I like to go high pants, but I was a freshman, so they always gave me the double XL pants, so I kind of looked like Aladdin out there. Wasn't really the best look.
High pants, covered shoes.
Yeah, not the best look.
The first pitch from Boggin to take us underway here in the 6th. It is in there for a strike. Good framing there from Tweed.
Great job by Tweed, not giving up on those pitches. Really great job staying in it, getting his thumb under the ball, working it back to the zone.
The pitch from Boggin. Outside, tried to frame that one again. I think the ump wanted to call that one for a second.
Gave a little bit of a twitch, a little bit of a twitch like he wanted it.
The 1-1. In there for a strike.
Great job by Boggin, man. He has command out there. He's got command of both pitches. Really going in there, really being assertive, making the zone his. That's exactly what you want out of a pitcher.
It's always good to see a reliever go out there and have control as you see the 1-2 pitches. On the ground to second, the throw on to first. They'll get him really easily. Dixon gets the out there. Wildcats get the first out of the inning. Good pitching there from Boggins.
It really just gets in on his hands. That two-seamer runs in on the hands, gets him late, busts him inside, and he has to just, all he can do is just try to fight it off, and it's a weak ground ball to Mitchell Dixon, who's not playing a bad second base so far.
Cardoza Akindo steps back into the box, struck out in the first inning, unassisted play to first base, got him out in the last at bat in the 4th inning. As you see, he takes the first pitch for a ball. The pitch from Boggin is on the ground, a chopper to first. Easy fielding for Geezer. They get the out.
Geezer's been getting a lot of action, which tells you that these Baylor hitters are out in front of the ball. Not really doing too much damage. We haven't seen any big hits out of either of these teams except for that double early on in the game by Wesner.
What a good pick from Geezer. What a really good pick there at first. Harrison Cayley back in the game here.
That's just a gorgeous pitch. There's nothing you can do with that.
I'm
that is a
so
pitch.
glad you said that. That was an amazing pitch. Found the center of the zone. So much movement. The 0-1 pitch. Outside. A lot of movement on that one, too.
Tried to go a little too. Pulled his front side just a little bit, and that's why that pitch was outside. Your front shoulder determines so much about pitch location.
Boggin keeps rolling with the 1-1.
Ooh, Tanner Tweed. Oh, that's a little bit of a mistake by Tweed right there. Just body language, looking back at the catcher or at the umpire in disbelief. That can harm your relationship with the umpire.
The 2-1 pitch. Low, another one there. Went with the off speed again. Interesting situation there.
I mean, he's got command of it, and back to that little bit of body language by Tweed. It's not much, and I did it my whole career, but just something that's hard to look away from the umpire, because some umpires are just, they have that thing about, hey, you're gonna disrespect me, and it's not a disrespect. It's not anything on Tweed. It's just more of a like, hey, come on, man, my pitcher's out here dotting up. Give me the call.
See the big lefty Connor Carlton warming up in the bullpen. That one is fouled to the right side. Took a good hit. I knew that one was foul. I saw the reaction of everyone in the crowd kind of turn their head real quick. I jumped to that one. Fouled. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out. What a pitch on the 3-2. What an inning for Boggin.
How you doing? Keep it moving. Take my stuff. You're not going to catch up to it. What a pitch.
Hey, stick with us. We got more baseball from Crutcher Scott Field. Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN+. Grant Golm back on the mound for the Bears. Warming up here in the bottom of the 6th. Baylor leads 3-1. ACU fantastic inning. Last go around there. Fantastic job pitching. Good job all the way around from Boggin.
Fantastic. I mean, that is what you want out of a reliever. If you get a reliever, you have to come in confident, especially with runners on, and you get out there, you throw your best stuff, and you just let it eat. And that is what you're looking for out of relievers. That is what Major League Scouts are looking for. That's what college scouts are looking for. If you're at home as a high school player and you want to be a relief pitcher at the next level, you have to have energy, and you have to understand that your stuff is the best and no one's going to beat you.
Fun night here at the Crutch. You see the fans. Good chance here to restart something with Colton Eager and taking the first pitch for ball one. He's 0-2 so far today. Very, very big opportunity for him batting .400 on the season.
This is exactly where you need Colton Eager right here. You need his speed. You need him to get on.
Down and in the dirt. Ball 2. Eager, obviously, big power hitter. Someone who can get on base, though, and move a lot. Very, very good player overall, all around. Can't say anything better about him. I'm running out of synonyms.
Too many compliments to be paid.
That was a hack and a half at that one. 2-2 count now for the pitcher Golm.
That was an up count swing if I have ever seen one in my life. Came out of his shoes.
The 2-1 pitch is framed very well by Harrison Cayley. What a job he's done behind the dish today.
I mean, he's done a fantastic job getting that inside pitch, really focusing on it. Let's see what pitch we see here. Maybe a changeup. Yeah, a little change of speeds right there.
Popped up. Cayley runs over. Out of play, though, and into the stands. See, we got a little bit of yellow and green, a little bit of purple and white all over the place here tonight. Very, very packed house to see these two teams go at it. These two very, very closely matched teams. You kind of look at ACU, go, they're a smaller market than Baylor, but what Rick McCarty's built here is a fantastic program as Eager fouls the 2-2 off.
Great at bat by Eager, taking every pitch that's thrown at him, staying deep in the zone, making sure he sees that ball, and really just staying connected, having a good level swing, fighting it off, living to fight another day.
Eager with that very, very wide batting stance we talked about earlier. The 2-2 pitches.
Oh my.
Hit to center field.
Oh, he just
got under it way too much, and a easy pop out there for Jared McKenzie in center field.
I think part of the things you're going to notice, too, is that this field is either a launch pad or it is a graveyard, and those flags are not waving. The air is cold, the sun is down, and that ball is just, it's not going to go like it will on a Saturday afternoon when it's 70 and sunny.
You still got an opportunity to get back in this one if you're ACU, but you're running out of innings, you're running out of at-bats. First pitch, 2 cruises in their first strike.
But the key thing you can't do is panic. You're still in this game. You are a bloop and a blast away from finding yourself tied with the Bears. You can't panic. You got to stay in your approach, work on getting singles, getting base runners on.
And that's what's great about baseball. You know, you can't go without mentioning it. You're in a situation where you can change the game with the swing of a bat. And really, I mean, even one run here could change the entire pacing of this game for both the Bears and the Wildcats as Cruz takes an 0-2 outside.
Yeah, all Tommy Cruz has to do is find a way to get on. He's got speed, and he's got to trust the guys behind him. Find a way to get on, get a little dying quail, something that can get him on base and let Hunter Geezer hit you in.
Gets under that one and shoots it right to the third baseman, Cardoza Odu. And I got to say this, I stumbled over his name there. I apologize, bit my tongue halfway through the sentence, but fantastic play there. Good pick at third. And Baylor has done a fantastic job defensively. We can't go without mentioning that. They've also done a great job pitching. That's the biggest part of what we've got to talk about. Held the Wildcats to just 3 hits and 1 run so far.
And really what you got to look at here is you got to start playing a little bit the game within the game. If Hunter Geezer can find any way to get on base, any way, even if Miller Ladisaw gets up, that gives you 7, 8, 9 in the 7th and lets you have a clean inning 1, 2, 3 in the 8th.
Swung at one on the inside, Geezer did.
So yeah, this at bat may not seem like much, but it's a big deal right here because you got to trust. I mean, obviously the ACU Wildcats trust the bottom of the order. I'm not saying that they don't, but if you can get Ladisaw up here, you can go 7, 8, 9 in the bottom of the 7th, and then that primes you to have the heart of your order in the 8th and the 9th and try to get something going. It gives you a clean, fresh start instead of having your 9-hole hit, maybe having to do a pinch hitter, and then go into the top of your order.
The 1-2 pitch to Geezer is outside for a ball. Interesting formation for Baylor on the infield. Cardoza Okindu kind of hanging off the bag, but you look at short, and then you look second is deeper. That is Trey Richardson hanging out a little bit in right field. As you see, the 2-2 pitch, he almost
he
went.
Did not. No,
the
he did
call
not.
At first, they struck him out on the outside. Call from first.
That is, I have to watch the replay
And
on this if there is one.
They stick with it. Hey, stick with us. 3-1 Baylor, 3 hits each. Welcome back to ACU and Baylor live from the Crutch in Abilene, Texas. Big hefty lefty Connor Carlton on the mound. This guy's got some velocity. Last weekend saw him go out in relief, did a great job, especially good relief effort versus Michigan State. Saw him a couple weeks ago follow up Breck Eckelberger, go out there and pitch fantastic. Good pitcher all around, Ryan.
And I think really here's what Rick McCarty needs is he just needs his staff to come out, keep this game close. Keep this game close. This offense is so potent for the Wildcats that they just need to keep don't let the lead expand. Okay? Keep this game close. Keep it a 3-1 lead and let your offense get back to work. Let it tool down. Let it figure out what it needs to do and come back and come alive in the back half of these 3 innings.
Carlton this season, 5.40 ERA in 3.1 innings pitched. He has given up 2 earned runs this season, 1 walk. But there's the number that you need to highlight: 7 strikeouts and a .083 batting average versus pitchers.
Wow. Yeah, so that, I mean, sometimes as a pitcher, ERA can be a little deceiving, especially as a reliever. When you get that, hey, you know, I've only been in 4 innings, I've given up 1 run, but I have 7 strikeouts. Like, that is insane. Those are great numbers, and ERA isn't the end-all, be-all for pitchers. And I think Carlton has a chance to show that right now.
Leadoff man back at the top of the 7th. Jack Pineda, the lefty batter. Right-handed thrower, shortstop. Of course, still batting well in the high 200s this season. And Carlton looks in for his sign.
I mean, and that's impressive to be hitting against, you know, ranked LSU arms, ranked UCLA arms, and being able to stay at the top of your game, have a high slugging percentage, and really being able to perform in front of some of the NCAA's best talent.
So we're here late in the 7th. We saw that bunt trick a little bit earlier in the 1st at this top of the order for Baylor. I don't know if necessarily they're trying to bunt on or not. Of course, we know Pineda can haul on to first if he needs to, but he takes that second pitch for a 2-0 count.
And it's not a bad idea by Pineda. No offense to Connor Carlton, but you've got a little bit bigger of a pitcher on the mound. He's left-handed, so he's falling away from first base, which is where Pineda's going to try and bunt that ball, and Pineda gets an extra step because he's left-handed.
The 2-0 is popped and skied. Carlton points it out. The left fielder, Miller Ladisall, moves under it, and he drops it. On to second is Pineda. An easy Little League double there for the shortstop. 3-1 Baylor. They've got a runner on second again. Carlton, you gotta hurt for him there. That is a raw deal.
That is what is called a can of corn, and he dropped it, and it went in his glove, out of his glove. Wow, that's hard as a pitcher when you make a perfect pitch. I mean, that's just hard. That's just a hard thing.
Well, Carlton can work out of it. We know that. He's having a fantastic season versus these batters, especially against these bigger schools like Michigan State, where he had such a good performance. The pitch to Richardson is taken for a strike. Wanted to bunt, maybe. I mean, that's something you're going to have to look at here. Is Pineda's definitely going to haul over to third if they can get a bunt down.
He's got a little bit of speed. I mean, you're thinking Richardson's got speed too, and in this situation, you're trying to get that bunt down to third base. You want to make Bender vacate that bag so Pineda has a way easier chance of getting there, right? Hunter Geezer's going to be charging in right here the minute he shows bunt. Here comes Geezer.
The pitch from Carlton, he tried to bunt again. Oh, I mean, 1-1, pardon me there. Richardson, he looks ready to haul off a first, or Pineda, excuse me, he looks ready to haul off a second there, head to third.
It's almost like the Wildcats have a little bit of a reverse wheel going on here. Hunter Geezer seems to be charging, which means Connor Carlton's going to have third base. Mitchell Dixon's going to have to move all the way over to second base, it looks like, if this bunt ends up being at Hunter Geezer.
He's showing bunt already. The pitch is dropped and fouled. He's in the 1-2 now. You got to start swinging.
And especially as a bunter right there, if you look, he tried to stab at that ball. Okay, you cannot stab at that ball. Trust me, I bunted a lot in my life. Was not a power hitter. You have to catch that ball. You can't stab at it. It's got to be soft. Tried to go get it, and that's exactly why that ball was fouled.
It can't go without mentioning this season, though. Richardson, he's batting .389 with runners in scoring position.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic season for him. Big chance here, though, with the runner on second to get an insurance run here late in the game.
Oh, yeah.
He waited. He rung him up there. Watched it like a house on the side of the road and drove on by. What a great pitch there from Connor Carlton.
Yeah, I mean, wow, just the backdoor slider right here. Just got him looking, froze him like a, I mean, wow. Just great frame by Tanner Tweed, too. Yeah, you can't do that. You cannot do that, especially in that game. You got to get that bunt down.
You said no offense to Connor Carlton earlier. When you're pitching like Connor Carlton, I can guarantee you he's not going to take offense to anything.
Nope, and it is something to think about. You got to think about movement. You got to think about everything.
talk about today's game, you got to talk about Drake Boggin coming in here for the Wildcats, having a good relief effort and now setting them up in a good situation. Carlton, of course, has a runner on second, but that's not the end-all be-all.
No, it's not. And, I mean, you really want to just try and focus on keeping that run from scoring. You got to think about it. Don't try to be too fine. You've got an open base, but this is the matchup you want. Lefty on lefty. Okay? As a left-handed hitter, you do not see many left-handed pitchers, especially one that has a wipeout slider like Connor Carlton. I mean, that thing can start behind your back hip and finish in the middle of the zone. That's a scary pitch to have to deal with.
Carlton, the transfer from Odessa College, played one season with ACU last year's. That one is fouled off to the left by McKenzie all over again. We've seen that one 2 times in a row now, and McKenzie stepping out of the box, try to figure things out. See Carlton, Dixon, and Tweet talking all over again, trying to arrange, something here, trying to keep that runner at second.
Something beautiful that I want to point out, if you watch right here, Connor Carlton doing a great job of being quick to home plate. Right there, it gives a little inside move. Throwing to second base because you have to. I believe it was a rule change by the NCAA. You have to make an attempt. So right here, he's going to be quick to the plate. He knows Pineda is fast, so he's trying to slide step, not picking his leg up fully, trying to be as quick to the plate as possible so Pineda can't get a big jump.
The pitch from Carlton is down in the zone. What a swing. They got him. They're going to have to throw on to first, but watching second there, ooh, man, there was a lot of movement there at second. I would be nervous if I were Carlton.
Wow. Looked like the queen at a knighting ceremony the way he swung that sword. That was a beautiful pitch by Connor Carlton.
Jack Pineda, he wanted to move on to third, but he couldn't bring himself to. Great awareness defensively for ACU.
Beautiful job. This could be huge for the Wildcats. They should have already been out of that inning if Miller Ladisaw did not drop that ball, but even bigger chance to... Oh, is Rick McCarty's going to intentionally walk him right here.
So you take a look at the replay here, Tweet. Great job trying to, realizing you're not going to get the tag. He's still got about 60 feet of running to do. You toss on to first. So an intentional walk is now issued to Kyle Nevin. Had a hot day today so far. I mean, not necessarily, but definitely a hitter to watch out for. A hot last at bat, and now he gets the intentional walk on to first. Runners on first and second now for Carlton. 2 out. 3-1 Baylor.
Interesting decision to go into Wesner, whose only hit of the game, the only hard hit of the game, was off a left-handed pitcher in Max Huffling in the first inning. It was the double that plated 2 runs that gave Baylor the early lead.
Hey, if you're not strategizing, you're not winning baseball games. The pitch from Carlton is in there for a strike, dead center on the plate.
It's an interesting decision by Coach Rick McCarty, but I think he trusts the matchup here. He trusts the splits. He's got great stats down there and a lot of great coaching staff helping him make that decision. So let's see if it pays off right here.
The 0-1 to Wesner. Carlton takes his time and deals. Chop just foul. That could have been trouble.
I mean, he's on that pitch right there. It's on that fastball, but you've gone curveball, fastball, and whenever you start an at-bat, when you land a curveball or a slider and you get that fastball in there, 0-2, you've seen both pitches. You know he can command both for a strike, and it's really hard to not step in that box and start guessing.
Jack Pineda, he's still at second. He's been there for a while now, and you got to think, if you're him, man, you're antsy to get going. You want something to happen here. You see some Baylor fans hanging out here watching the Bears get a good 2-0 lead. I mean, 3-1 lead, 2-run lead. He struck another one out. Connor's feeling himself. Big man liked that one. Hey, you're going to like the rest of this. Let's stick with it. Bottom 7th coming up.
I am a wife and a mother of 4. I work a full-time job and do catering on the side to help our family make all the ends meet. For years, I've dreamt about finishing my bachelor's degree, and I finally found ACU Online. The core values of the school really lined up with my faith, and I'm telling you, it is the only way I can move forward with my busy schedule. It's possible. You can work and get your education. ACU made it possible for me.
Pursue your undergraduate or graduate degree online at Abilene Christian University.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at this big old strikeout from the lefty. He's feeling it. He's happy about that. Had a runner on second. Intentional walk. Smart playing there from the Wildcats.
That is a huge strikeout by Connor Carlton. And again, it comes back to that same energy that Boggin brought out. I mean, it's a trickle-down effect. If your guy has energy on the mound, next guy up has energy on the mound. And that's exactly what the Wildcats need. Is exactly what the Wildcats need out of their bullpen.
So we love baseball. Baseball's a family sport. Cam Cayley pitching to his brother Harrison Cayley now for the Baylor Bears.
A little bit of brotherly love. I'm sure they've talked a lot of smack to each other in the offseason, going against each other. I can strike you out. No, I can hit a bomb off of you. I have been there. Often been the strikeout victim and not the one hitting the bomb.
So Ladisaw comes up to face off against what I guess you would call a little league duo. You got your brothers there pitching and catching to each other, and
I'm sure they have been doing that for their entire lives probably.
And the first pitch of the 7th is in there. Almost looked like it hit Ladisaw. Ladisaw batting .250 on the year, .426 on base percentage, and .472 slugging. Another one of these big Wildcat batters. The 1-0 pitch is shot off to the left side, and
that almost took a Baylor player's head off. Oh my.
Got those players hanging out on the rails there. They always one or two of them's going to get caught eventually, but saw it happen with ACU earlier on a foul ball. The 1-1 pitch.
Hit him. That's exactly what you need for the Wildcats right now. You get a new pitcher in, you get a first pitch hit by pitch, he stays in, and now you have a chance. Grayson Tatro, it's all you need. Bloop and a blast right here. That's all you need.
And I can tell you, you know, I'm not going to say this, but maybe he leaned in a little bit there after that first pitch. Saw, you know, an opportunity if he tried to paint that inside corner a little bit better.
Hey, and if they're going to come in, if they're going to try and establish that inside fastball on you, scoot up, get on the plate. I mean, a hit by pitch is, you know, it's beautiful. It's a single almost, right? You got to get on base.
So the man with power, Grayson Tatro, we saw him fly out to right field earlier. Big opportunity with the tying run at the plate. Ball out of the glove there, and another 1-0 start.
It's one of the hardest as a catcher. It's called getting thumbed, and it's when you try to catch a pitch from a lefty and your thumb completely like bends backwards and almost breaks. One of the hardest pitches to catch is that away fastball from a lefty.
The pitch to Tatro, he takes it, and that'll be another close ball. You can hear the displeasure from the Baylor fans out there. 2-0 count to Grayson Tatro. Of course, WAC preseason outfielder this year. Fantastic talent for Coach Rick McCarty.
He's a great pickup from Weatherford Junior College. Same junior college that Hunter Geezer went to.
The 2-0 pitches.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Going back at the wall. He's
off the wall.
Off the wall. Runner grounding third is Ladisaw. The throw home. He is safe at the plate. 1-run double from Grayson Tatro puts one on the board for the Cats in the 7th.
Any other day, that ball is absolutely demolished. That was a swing, but there's no wind. The air is dead, and he put a charge into that ball. Wow.
I feel bad for Alex Gonzalez. I couldn't even see the ball all the way up here in the press box. He shot back. You take a look at the replay here.
Oh, he pimped it too. He thought it was gone. He gave a little bit of a swagger walk with it. Wow.
Yeah, that's a hard hit on the wall. Great fielding, great awareness from Jared McKenzie there. Get the ball back in time, but slide into the home plate, and hey.
What'd I say? A bloop and a blast.
Bloop and a blast. 3-2 ball game. Runner on second, no outs. For the Wildcats, and you got Tanner Tweed up. He's a big bat for this team. Outside for ball 1.
Listen, I'm not saying there's any correlation, but Tanner Tweed is wearing my old number. So I'm going to call my shot right now, and I'm going to say he's going to get a hit. I'm feeling it.
You're feeling a hit
I'm
right
feeling
now?
it. He's wearing my old number.
Bold.
I didn't do a lot in that number, but hopefully he can do it proud.
Bold predictions here from Ryan. We've seen him all day. Let's see if he can get another one. Mostly calling pitches. Let's even call a hit.
Oh,
Almost
just foul.
shot that one into left field. Protection swing there. Tatro, he was ready to jump and go.
I mean, and this is the type of moment you live for as a hitter. You know, game on the line, you got a chance to tie it up for your boys, to come in clutch, and you just got to remain calm. It's like any other bat. You got to take all the pressure away, and man, you know, whatever happens, happens.
It's
Look for your pitch.
a completely different ball game. It really is.
100%. I mean, that hit from Tatro changes this ball game completely.
You got a chance to change the momentum if you can keep something going here.
What did I say?
Into right field. It's a pop-up.
Dang it.
Tatro heads back to the bag. He is going to tag up. The throw to third is going to be safe at third. Is Tatro. Great job tagging up from the Wildcat center fielder. Runner at third. All you've got to do is get one out of the outfield.
I mean, that was beautiful. Now you just need to elevate. You just got to get something deep. He's got field. Let's look at the replay here.
He hesitated too.
Yeah, he's looking at his coach. His coach is supposed to tell him. Yeah, he's safe right there.
Ooh, I would have been nervous as can be. Big opportunity for the Wildcats. They go and they bring in Alexei Kazaran. Big chance here for them. Number 6, the senior righty infielder. And they're going straight to the bullpen already. Not the day for Cam Cayley that he wanted. 1/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run. That is an earned run, 1 double, facing 3 batters through 9 pitches.
That is unfortunate. And man, you know, I was a little deceived. I thought that ball was in the gap, but like the wind is just killing these balls. This field has turned into an absolute graveyard.
The righty, Hamilton Oliver, he's going to come in here, the sophomore for Baylor, and warm up. It's a 3-2 ball game, Ryan. It's a big opportunity here for the Wildcats if they can capitalize.
100%. Right now, you've got Coach Craig Perry going over with Alexei Kazarin at the side of the dugout. They're going over splits. They're going over stats. They're going over what he likes to throw. Craig Perry likes his hitters to be prepared, understand what's coming, and this is a big spot. You need a ground ball to the right side or something deep into the air. Just try and elevate. First available is what Coach Perry likes to say. First available pitch, do damage with it, get this run in, tie the game up for your boys.
So it hasn't been an extremely offensive game. 4 hits for each team, 3 runs for Baylor, 2 runs for ACU. It started in the top of the first. Wesner, he doubled to left center field. It scored 2 runs. McKenzie and Richardson scored for the Bears. Bottom of the first, Cruz got a single for the Wildcats. Eager advanced to second, and Randall scored. Back to the top of the second, Richardson had grounded out. Pineda advanced to second, and Cayley, wow, excuse me, he advanced to third. Gonzalez scored, and now here we are. Tatro scores. Tatro on third. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a word jumble there. Ladisaw scored. Tatro on third.
Got a little bit of a Texas two-step music playing here as pitchers warming up. Alexei Kazarin waiting on deck.
And if you warmed up hard in the bullpen, you come out here and you're hearing Neon Moon playing over the speakers. You're gonna have to find that edge a little bit there and get the gas going again.
A little bit of mind games, trying to play some slow dancing music. Especially on a cold night like this, man. Everyone, the colder the night gets, the slower everyone starts throwing. Your body gets tired easier. Man, your joints lock up. It is hard to throw a baseball fast and with accuracy in cold weather.
So, Harrison Cayley, he'll come out of the game. Alexei Kazaran, the senior infielder from Frisco, Texas, 5'8", 172, gets under 1 there. Could have been trouble for the Bears.
It's exactly what he was looking for. First available right there. He was just trying to find any pitch in the zone, swing at it. The Bears are actually in. They're going to cut this ball off. So if Alexei Kazarin can just get a dying quail, just a bloop, just any old ball that just falls, will score a run.
The pitch to Kazarine. Shoots it
bobbles
short.
it.
He bobbled it. The throw to first. It looked like Kazarine slowed up a bit when he was heading to first. He maybe thought that it was going to be a ground out. One of those situations you got to hustle a bit more, but nevertheless, 1 out for the Bears.
So that replay. Man, if it just bounced a little bit further away, you would have been safe. But Pineda does a great job staying in front of it. That's what you teach, man. You know, bruises go away, trophies last forever. You got to stay in front of the ball. Make sure that you just eat it and get the out.
Well, we've been very complimentary of the Baylor infield today. Cardozo Kindu, he's done a fantastic job. Jack Pineda's done great. Trey Richardson, and of course, Chase Wesner has done a fantastic job on the infield for the Bears.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the guy you want up right here, I think. I mean, he's got one of the best barrel controls on the team. Got one of the best eyes right now. And him or Colton Eager are the two guys that I would put my money on that I want up right now.
So watching a guy like Mitchell Dixon play baseball, he reminds me a lot of an old school player. His approach to the plate, the way he swings the bat, as you see that half crouch stance. That one got inside there, played it off like it hit him. Good job there from Dixon, of course, playing the part there. But
yeah, if you've ever met Mitchell Dixon, he's a bit of an old soul, guy that I got to work in the trenches with. He's got that Ringling Circus mustache on, if that tells you anything.
Every time he's come up, we've talked about that stash. On to short. This is going to tie the game.
He's safe.
He is safe at first. Run scores for the Wildcats. Fantastic job from Mitchell Dixon.
That is a tough play. Everyone's going to talk about the throw, but that play is a tough play by Pineda. It is a short, soft ground ball that is away from him. He has to backhand it, jump, and throw at the same time. Like, watch this right here. Great job by Dixon, hustling out of the box. He knows what's happening, slides out of contact. Great job. I mean, that is a hard play by Pineda. You have all your momentum's going towards third base. You have to jump throw, try to get it there, and he just couldn't come up with it. And now we got a tie game. It's a 0-0 ball game now.
So if you're Hamilton Oliver, you come in, you've got to deal with the situation now, an unearned run. The throwback to first, he is safe. They thought they had him.
Ooh, I thought they had him.
Very close play there at first. Good pickoff from Oliver.
Got him leaning a little bit. Wow.
Let's take a peek here. Great shot from ACUTV camera crew.
Oh, he's safe. His hand's in there. That was a great shot.
Good extension there from Mitchell Dixon. Obviously, one of the taller guys on this team. The throw back to first again. They really want to get him. They are trying their hardest, but it's not looking like it's going to fall. And now you've got to settle back in there and face the heart of this ACU lineup.
That is, it's a tough thing to find a move on a righty when you've never seen him pick off before.
The 0-0 pitch is down there. They look to throw to Dixon again. He got about a 10, 12-foot lead off there, trying to get in the head of the pitcher, Oliver. Oliver with runners on base. He's got a 111 batting average versus batters. Fantastic chance for him.
Square on a bunt.
Squared to bunt with 2 outs.
Third base was playing very far back. Randall does have some speed on him.
Bash Randall, he's one of these guys. He takes this very tight stance that we see a lot of the ACU players take. He can generate so much power coming off that lead foot as the throw to first. Another no call there, and
man, Mitchell Dixon is making him really uncomfortable, and that's interesting that he keeps picking over. I mean, you've got 2 outs. Nobody's had hard contact over you. I mean, he's in there safe. Nobody's hitting hard contact. He picks off again. Like, I mean, 2 outs, man. You know, I as a catching standpoint, like you can't give that much leeway to that hitter. Maybe if he's on second, maybe give him a few looks, but you've got 2 outs. You haven't given up any hard contact at all. Like, trust your stuff. Go after your hitter right here.
In all due respect to Mitchell Dixon, not the strongest base runner, but
exactly.
He is making Oliver work for it tonight.
And that's exactly what Coach Rick McCarty wants. That's what you want out of your base runners. You want your pitcher, you want the opposing pitcher thinking about you, not the hitter. And as you see, he threw a ball because of it.
McCarty always talks about how diverse he wants his offense to play and his defense to play, and he wants to be known for that, and this team has done a fantastic job of that. As Dixon heads for second, the throw, it's
safe.
out of his glove. Richardson dropped the ball.
Oh my gosh. Wow. He looked like he was running in quicksand. I thought we were about to call the fire department the way he got hosed, but wow. Dropped the ball. We were able to be safe. Oh my gosh.
I know we've had a game with the calls we've had today, but that was the best one so far. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, that's
Richardson
safe.
the ball just popped right out of the glove. Runner on second now.
Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship by Dixon sliding straight into the glove. You never know.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs outside.
No, he did not.
They're going to say he did not swing. It'll be a 3-2 count for Bash Randall.
And full count. I mean, now you start to get a little nervous as a pitcher, right? You've been thinking about the runner too much, right? You spiked 2 fastballs here. You've worked into a full count, and you've got Colton Eager, who's the hottest hitter on this ACU offense besides Grayson Tatro, up next. I mean, you got to get this out right here. It's low. No!
They are going to call him out, ring him up.
Wow, he hasn't called that all game.
Hamilton Oliver gets out on an interesting call there. We will head to the 8th.
Oh, Coach McCarty's
Tied
getting a
at
little
3.
into it right now. Wow. Wow.
Hey, stick with us. We're going to see what happens from here on out. 3-3. Hey, welcome back. 3-3 ball game. Let's take a look at this
Oh my
strikes.
God. That ball is on the other batter's box. Wow.
Put that one in the Louvre. Harrison Cayley framed that puppy up. What a frame job from the Baylor catcher. Saved them a run. Hey, we've got a new pitcher for the Wildcats. Number 15, Riley Baum, sophomore right-handed pitcher. Big opportunity for here. They pull Carlton, the big lefty. They go back to a righty here. You think this is strategy, Ryan?
I mean, not a bad move as you're going into this lineup. I mean, you've got most of the lefties out of the way for the Baylor Bears. So you don't want to go lefty on righty. It's a tough matchup, so they're going to put in the big righty here, see what they got, and I think the Baylor Bears might be making a move as well.
We're looking at the on-deck circle. It is not Valdez, but Bo Wimpy, the sophomore left-handed hitter, infielder.
This is actually the brother of first baseman Eric Wimpy, who was a first baseman at ACU, played with me. Great guy. Just a little fun fact for you there, right there.
These two teams, they're tied together. We've talked about it all night. You got brothers, you got friends, you got transfers. It's all over the place. Very, very close game. And Bo Wimpy, he's got a big chance here to come in and really change the game if he can.
Not a bad move by the Baylor Bears skipper here. You see the righty comes in, Carlton comes out, flip in your own lefty, try and get the matchup that you want.
You said it earlier. It's Wednesday night. Let's have some fun. Midweek baseball. Don't stress yourself out too much. You got conference play coming up. Get some guys some at-bats.
Get some guys some at-bats. Try to win a ball game, you know.
Start the top of the 8th for the Bears. The first pitch is inside for a ball. Almost took out the elbow guard there.
Yep. A little bit of high cheese, and establish that zone.
The pitch from Baum is, whoa, cut on. What a big swing.
It was a hack and a half.
So you're working a 1-1 count now. Top of the 8th. This is big baseball right here.
100%. I mean, a leadoff runner is huge. It changes the whole momentum of this game.
That one is straight into the back. Turns and takes a little bit of a peek there at Baum, but Baum's not bothered by it at all.
Now that's something that you can't have. And here comes a pinch runner. Yep, gonna get your fastest guy on. Try to generate some runs.
Let's take a look here at the hit by pitch.
Does a great job staying in the box. Just lets it hit him. That's a free base.
So it's going to be Nolan Rodriguez, the sophomore outfielder. He's going to be trying to dance his way around the bags and find his way home for the Bears at first. But back to the dish.
Going to get a bunt coverage call here by Mitchell Dixon. Mitchell
Gonzalez.
Dixon's behind the plate now, by the way.
Big offensive shift that we didn't even notice. Julio Riggs is now the second baseman for the Wildcats. Dixon's been moved to catcher, and it looks like Tweed's been moved out of the lineup. So Rick McCarty showing some changes here. Big strategy here late. Shows bunt. Here's the bunt. It is shot down the line.
Let it go foul. Great play by Hunter Geezer. Knowing the situation, not rushing that ball. You know that they're trying to get that runner over. Let that ball go foul, right? Make him take the strike and see if you can't make him take another strike, try to get into an 0-2 count and get him out without moving that runner over. Great baseball IQ by Hunter Geezer.
And I want to point something out. Everyone always says put a big old outfielder, someone who doesn't play the field real well at first, but you see the way Geezer fielded that ball. That is someone who's played first base their whole life.
He is athletic.
The pitch, he shows bunt.
That is a great frame by Mitchell Dixon.
What a pitch. You got Dixon back behind the mound. He's a good job. The ACU has such good depth at catcher.
100%. And even one of their other catchers is out with Tommy John, Thomas Brannon. He's one of the best framers I've seen in a while. So they've got depth that they're still missing. And they've got the guys that can just flat out hit. They're deep in every single area, every facet of this game.
As a catcher, you've got to be loving this game. Harrison Cayley, he's catching a great game, and he swings at that one. Looks like it's going to be foul. Very, very close call there. Dixon thought for a minute, but
not a bad idea of gamesmanship here. Showing the bunt, the 0-2 bunt. They've already bunted 0-2, so you think it's going to happen. And as a pitcher, you see that 0-2 bunt, you're like, okay, man, I'm trying to groove a fastball, take the out, and he's pulled it back trying to swing.
Big lead off at first. The 0-2 pitch is outside.
Great job by Mitchell Dixon. Getting over the top of it, that's what you want to do. You stumble, or you don't stumble, I'm sorry. You fall onto the ball, try and attack it, get over the top of it, and smother it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do as a catcher. Great job by Dixon coming in, not hot, not used to catching, but he's coming in a big-time spot, making big-time plays.
We talk about Mitchell. He's one of these guys, you know, I was talking to one of the relievers, Austin Glaze, the other day. He's one of these guys that'll sit there and he shoots one into the gap. That's a gapper. And throws it back in. Runners on first and second now. And
good job by Mitchell Dixon coming up. Missed the cutoff, man.
Missed the cutoff, man. Throws it back to Dixon. So 2 on, no out for the Bears after the hit by pitch and the little looper cue shot into left field for the Bears.
And now I think we're going to have third baseman Kendo up. You got runners on first and second. Here's a replay of that hit right there. I mean, just textbook, staying inside the curveball, not getting too big, trying to make sure you see it deep and working his bat. It's a great piece of hitting right there.
Good awareness for Mitchell Dixon. You're going to see Coach Rick McCarty coming out here to talk to his pitcher.
Got a little bit of action going on in the bullpen. I think we're going to see a pitching change here, maybe.
Yes, we are. We're seeing someone crowd around the fence. We're just seeing if Coach McCarty's going to make the call or not. Big calls here. in the game.
He's got a tie game, top of the 8th. I mean, this is what you live for. College baseball right here. You've got the Big 12, almost big brother proverbial, that's beaten up on ACU for the last 30 years. The Baylor Bears are 13-2 against ACU, and now you've got a whole new look ACU team trying to come back and prove, hey man, we're a little bit taller than you. It's like when you come back, your big brother, right? Your little brother comes back from summer break, and you're like, man, you gained a few pounds. I don't know if I can beat up on you as much.
Now, ACU, 2 of those wins, they were Division II when they came out and defeated the Bears. However, it can't go without noting they've only played once in Division I. That was March 13th, 2019. Baylor would win that one 6-3 in Waco.
And, I mean, ACU's only been a Division I team for 5-6 years, I'm pretty positive, and it's just it's tough to make that transition, and Coach Rick McCarty's done a great job of just building the team and creating a good energy and environment.
So here's Cardoza Okindu. Checks back.
I don't know how I feel about that rule that you have to make an attempt once you inside move. You get these little flick throws over at second base. I don't know how I feel about that by the NCAA, that rule change.
And that's one of those that you got to think about pace of play, but as he lays down a bunt, the throw into first, simple play, hold your breath. Runners advance to second and third. Interesting situation here for Baylor. Big opportunity for the Bears.
I almost think if Pineda, it's not Pineda. They're going to pinch hit here, I think. Yeah, he's walking back to the dugout because Pineda's on deck. So the Baylor Bears are trying to make a move here, I think.
Pineda's still, he's holding. We're not really sure what's going on here.
Yeah, because Pineda's on deck, so I think they're trying to pinch hit for Cayley maybe. Or is he coming out to hit?
So Cayley,
we're gonna have a left-handed batter.
Cayley is being pinch hit for here. Interesting situation here. A lot of strategy here in the 8th. We can't go without talking about it. The pinch batter will be Kason Newman for Baylor. Lefty freshman first baseman. Big opportunity here for the freshman.
Man, and if I'm Harrison Cayley in that stance, man, you got to obviously be a good teammate. You got to say, hey, go get him. You got this. But man, if I'm Harrison Cayley, I got a chance to get my team back on board if I can get one swing of the bat. It's tough to get that moment taken away from you, but let's see if this new pinch hitter can deliver.
In all due respect to Coach Steve Rodriguez, it's one of those deals where you're losing Cayley's catching ability, really. You had a great catcher's matchup all game, and the first pitch is shot over and foul back behind him, and I tell you, they were ready to jump on that one.
Still got a little bit of movement. You got 2 guys up. You got a lefty and a righty, both up in the ACU bullpen.
So you've got Gonzalez on second, Rodriguez on third, 1 out, 0-1 pitch coming your way, and the infield is in. They're probably looking bunt here. They're not.
Great pitch. Wow, great pitch right there. Floated that backdoor curveball. Just couldn't get it.
Laid off of it. Great job laying off of it. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Dramatic baseball in the 8th inning. Gotta love it.
This is where games are made right here.
The pitch is
shot
to right field.
Oh, no.
Deep, high, far, back. Goodbye, home run, Baylor.
Wow.
3-run shot for the pinch hit freshman, Kason Newman.
That is unfortunate. Wow. I mean, he just stays inside that ball and absolutely demolishes it to left field. I mean, that's just a beautiful swing, and that's just deflating.
Well, I did say all due respect to Coach Steve Rodriguez. Great call there. You pinch hit your catcher, you get a 3-run shot.
Hey, who needs defense when you have offense? Who needs defense when you have offense?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You've got a very well-padded 3-run lead now. Take a look at this one. I mean,
that's wow.
And that ball had a ton of movement on it. He read that puppy like it was a book.
I mean, and the bat speed on that is phenomenal. Just got his hands there, able to extend, and just wow. Wow, that was a great pitch too. Down and in. That's not even a bad pitch. That's on the black. Really able to get his hands through, get extended, and just that's unfortunate.
Big pinch hit, 3-run shot for Newman, the freshman. Big opportunity for him. He took every ounce of it, and now if you're Riley Bauman, you got to go back out there and figure it out. And the first pitch, he swings at one down in the AstroTurf.
That was a little bit of a confidence builder backswing right there. But I mean, now if you're ACU, you're back in the original hole that you started in. You got to hope that Bauman can get you out of this right here, because as a coach, I mean, you're getting your guys up in the bullpen right now are your tie game guys, not your 3-run in a hole guys. So you got to rethink your whole pitching strategy and kind of just hope your offense can come back, show up, tie the game, and you can still send the same guys out there.
The 0-2 from Bauman is outside. Dixon, good job wrangling that one in. That home run, I've got to say, that was a massive shot. Behind the bullpen in right field for the Wildcats, there's a bunch of shade trees right there. Fantastic job getting that ball chipped up in there, and as far as I'm concerned, that one shot into the orbit.
The furthest ball I've ever seen hit at this field, other than Hunter Geezer's record-breaking 455-foot absolute tank against Marist, was by a guy named Trey Harrison, and he hit a ball onto the UP apartments back there. It's about 460, maybe 470 feet. I mean, it goes. When the ball goes, it goes here.
Colton Eager had 2 big blasts into those apartments back behind the stadium. There's an entire university parking lot right there for some apartments. The 2-2 pitch is shot on the ground to third. Easy throw across the diamond.
Very smooth play by Kazarine right
5-3 put out, gets the second out of the inning. You got to go back, though, and look at Rick McCarty, what he was thinking about doing. Obviously, he definitely was thinking about going to his bullpen and maybe ask, should he have done that?
Well, should he? And then the thing you got to understand is, were his guys ready at all? You know what I mean? Because that was a quick situation. You put a new pitcher out there, you get into a hole, you get runners on, and is your guys even ready? You can't throw a reliever out there cold. And the other part about that is you had a base open, yes, but you don't want to walk a pinch hitting freshman to get to Pineda, who's the best hitter on the team. So it's just a unfortunate circumstance right there, and the Baylor Bears just made the ACU Wildcats pay for it.
So here's Trey Richardson. He's had an interesting day, found his way around the bases in the first inning after a walk. He had a ground out to 4 with a sacrifice there in the second, walked in the 5th, and struck out looking in the 7th. And now here he is in the 8th inning. Very big chance to maybe even tack on another insurance run. How many do you need, though? The 1-1 pitch is low. 2-1 now.
And all goes back to just free bases too. Just hitting guys. You got to be able to get ahead of guys. You can't give them free bases. You can't fall behind in the count. I mean, it just gives hitters too much room to be able to work.
Those little mistakes have cost the Wildcats here in this one, as that one is bounced foul over to the on-deck circle, and
I can guarantee you 1 point for Rick McCarty, no matter how, and just Wildcat pitching in general. 1 point for them is going to be, no matter how this game ends, no matter if ACU comes back, no matter if they lose, it's going to be free bases. I'm pretty positive. I think at least 4 out of the 6 Baylor runs have come from free bases.
2-2.
K'd him up.
They framed him up. What a pitch. I was a bit curious there on the call. Hey, 3 runs for the Bears. 3 runs. Hey, stick with us. We'll see you in the bottom of the 8th. Scott Field. ACU versus Baylor. Baylor had a huge 3-run inning last time around. Fantastic job for them at the top of the 8th.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just it's unfortunate, but you just got to move past it. As the ACU offense, you got to go, you know what? Hey, we're going to take this game. We're going to take matters into our own hands. We're going to play our game. We got the heart of our order up. We got our guys. And let's go out there. Let's try and chip away, you know? Like, one swing isn't going to get you 4 runs back. You got to trust yourself, find ways to get on base, find ways to manufacture runs, and hope you can do it in the next 6 outs.
Well, Baylor heads to their bullpen. They go in, they pull out the senior lefty, Matt Volker, number 40. He's going to go out there on the field and try to light this series up for them. And to address the last inning, of course, there was a catcher change. Harrison Cayley pulled out for the big pinch hit home run from Kason Newman. They've sent in Cortan Castle to catch the freshman, and that is the first pitch, and it is in there for a strike, and we're back underway here in the 8th.
Colton Eager's really just got to find a way to get on base. And I know I've been saying that so much, but it's so important to have your leadoff hitter get on base. It's deflating for that pitcher.
Well, if there's a team that can do it, it's the Wildcats. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm sure in yours there's no doubt at all. Big slugging all throughout. Each 9 batters can hit the ball, and they can hit it hard, too, if they want to.
100%. And I think they've settled down. They found a better approach, and they're really going to try and work on these at-bats.
So 6-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. A little bit cold out there. It's dropped down just a little bit. 48 degrees here in Abilene.
48 degrees and no sun. That's some chilly baseball weather.
The 1-2 pitch is chopped over to second. It's going to be a quick and easy 4-3 put out there for the Bears. Colton Eager goes down swinging.
Well, let's see if Tommy Cruz can get something going. ACU Wildcats have 5 outs left. 5 outs left to make something happen. 5 outs for 3 runs.
Cruz, of course, a part of what I guess you could call Coach Rick McCarty's WAC All-Star team that he's assembled here.
100%.
Fantastic. You talked about him, small DH, but he can hit for power.
Just one of those guys that's born to find a barrel. Tommy Cruz.
First pitch is a little outside, tried to frame it up there. Castle couldn't get it done. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Outside again.
Now, if you're Tommy Cruz, it's 2-0, right? It's 2-0. You lose them by 3 runs. Home run will help, but it's not going to get those 3 runs back, right? You got to think, I got to go small. I got to find one pitch. I got to narrow that zone down. Don't get too big. Play your game. Stay relaxed. You still got plenty of time.
He's been working that outside, and there he goes on the inside. Cruz went all in on that one. Could not make contact, though.
I think right here you're going to see him try to still attack with fastballs. Tommy Cruz really good at hitting off-speed pitches.
Pops it up right side, running over right field and first base, but not going to be in play, just out into that little courtyard area by the batting cages.
Now the count's completely, it's not completely different, right? But it's an even count, right? Now you got to expand a little bit more. Still try to stay yourself. Try to stay right side with it.
Fouls another one off. He's battling here. He really is. He wants to get a piece of something, maybe shoot one out in the outfield, but this late in the game, you've got to make something happen.
Yep, you got to find a way. You got to trust yourself, keep battling. You really have to focus right side. You have to see that ball deep.
The pitch is shot back, another foul ball. So far in this game, Baylor 6 runs on 6 hits, 8 left on base. The Wildcats 3 runs on 5 hits, 5 left on base, 1 error. And that was that fielding error you saw in left field when Connor Carlton was on the mound. Did not come to pass for the Bears as you see the 2-2 pitches.
Hit up the middle.
Chopped up the middle. He dives for it, and it's through. Right under the glove of Richardson. Cruz to first, and that's a base hit here in the 8th for the Wildcats.
It's exactly what you need right now with Hunter Geezer coming up. Now, I will tell you this. Right now, a home run is your biggest rally killer, right? Because it clears the base. It almost acts as a 2-run reset, right? Your pitcher has 2 runs to work with. And I know it sounds crazy to be like, you don't want a home run here, right? And I'm not saying that. A home run would be great, but it's your biggest rally killer. You want a double, you want a single, something to keep the momentum going, score runs, keep guys on base, make the pitcher nervous.
The first pitch to Geezer is in there for a strike right over the plate. Geezer batting .268 on the season. It should be noted, though, he's batting .273 with runners on base.
Not a bad slash. I mean, you got to stay right side. You have to stay right side.
The pitch
That's
to
exactly
Geezer,
what he does.
Chop to right field. The right fielder moves under it. Great awareness there in right field from Kyle Nevin, and Wildcats down to their last out here in the 8th.
Oh, I really thought that was going to get down for a little bloop, and maybe we could have a chance for a blast. But, I mean, not terrible.
Kyle Nevin, fantastic job playing the field today, though.
Great. Yep. Great
You've
job.
got to highlight his job. I mean, you had that big catch earlier in the game. Tatro shooting one off the wall almost, but fantastic catch out in right field. The first pitch to Ladisaw is a ball.
And now for Ladisaw, he's got to stay left field. And the reason I keep saying you want to stay the opposite field, right? What that does, if you're staying the opposite field on a fastball, right, that means you're seeing it out of the hand, you're seeing it deep, you're not trying to pull it. And then when a curveball comes in that's slower, now you can work the middle of the field to your pull side of the field on a curveball. Instead of trying to sit and pull fastballs, when a curveball comes, you completely miss it. So that's how you see balls deep. That's how you be an effective hitter.
Great pitch falls in there for Volker. 1-1 count now for the Bears pitcher, and big swing and a miss there for Ladisaw.
I almost wonder if the Wildcats might try and put something on here. Just try to get something moving, make someone uncomfortable.
They've done it before. They did it in that 7th inning where they scored those 3 runs. Great. I mean, those 2 runs, excuse me. They did a great job of getting in the head of the pitcher, but great job, and a little shooter into left center field, a base hit for the Wildcats. Rounding second, on to third is Cruz. He is safe at third.
It was an absolute frozen rope by Nevin. Wow.
Great single here, and here's Grayson Tatro. He got the rally going in the last inning for the Wildcats, and a chance to do it again.
I mean, he's hot right now. He is hot. I mean, he's torched 2 balls. One was caught by Nevin. The other was just off the top of the wall that gave the Wildcats one of their first rallies. And, I mean, if he can just stay hot here, find a way to get the ball in. Now, that being said, I know my home run comment earlier, right? Now, you've got a chance to tie the game up. So a home run doesn't kill you, right? You almost take that, but you can't think that as Grayson Tatro. You got to think left side for him. He's got to go opposite direction, see the ball deep, work singles and doubles.
Not a huge shift for the Bears. They play the field pretty well here as the first pitch is in there for a ball, and there's not a huge shift. They played the field very well. The infield's the only thing we've seen shifting a lot for Baylor today.
Yeah, their outfield plays pretty straight up, which lets you know that the Baylor Bears really either trust their pitching or they trust that their outfield has range.
The pitch from Volker, they're going to call that one a strike. You can probably hear the fans. They are not a fan of that call. Nevertheless, it is a strike. 1-1 count now to the center fielder.
It's a big spot for the ACU Wildcats right here. See if they can't try to chip away.
It's a big spot for Baylor. The pitch from Volker is hacked at. Wow.
Tatro wanted that swing back, man. He saw that ball, just got a little too jumpy. And that's what I'm saying, right? That was a great swing through it. He saw it, right? But he wasn't trying to go left side, right? Got a little too big. That's why he was out in front of it. You got to go right side with those balls. Or left side, excuse me. Left side. He's left-handed. My bad.
Volker, fantastic job pitching this inning. The 1-2 pitch is on the ground and through the hole. 1 run is in the score. Ladisaw to second, Tatro to first. Great at bat for the Wildcats with Julio Riggs on deck.
That's exactly what you want right there. It's a great job by Tatro. Great two-strike approach, right? Kept his hands through, was able to poke it through the gap. That's what you need. Keep the inning alive. Keep the momentum going. Here's the replay of it. Just a little out in front, but is able to just put it. Hey, I mean, you know, it's baseball. Hit it where they ain't. Sometimes you got to hit it smarter, not harder.
And that was a great piece of hitting from Tatro. Not enough credit. I really, really thought that second baseman Trey Richardson were going to get a pick at that one. Baylor is headed to the bullpen, it appears, with Volker leaving the ball game here in the 8th.
I'm sorry, but if I ever walked out to pitch to Cruz by Florida-Georgia line, I think I'd quit. I don't think I could do it.
It's going to be number 24, Mason Merritt, the freshman right-handed pitcher, coming on the mound for the Bears. Baylor really, really utilizing their bullpen today. I mean, and they've done a good job. It's a fantastic job for them. Looking at the on deck, it looks like we're gonna get a pitch hitter for Riggs. It's looking like Bryson Hill, the junior left-handed batter, on deck there. Let's take a look at this hit from Tatro again.
Does a great job keeping his hands through, gets it a little out in front of his body, but fantastic job finishing his swing, holding his finish, not allowing himself to roll over, and takes that ball in the outside corner and punches it in the gap, gets himself a hit, gets himself an RBI, and keeps this inning rolling for the Wildcats.
That is the most excited I've ever seen anyone for an infield single.
Hey, man, it's all about energy. It's all about energy shifts, you know, and I think that's what Coach Rick McCarty is looking for out of his guys that are bench guys, right? I mean, it's hard to sit here on the bench when you're not playing. It's 48 degrees out, right? Look at these guys on the screen. They're
having
hyped
a
to be
fun
here.
time.
That's exactly what you need, right? You need that energy, especially out of your bench guys, right? If your bench guys go, your team's going to go. You got to have people that pick you up. That's how you have a great team. It's not just the 9 guys on the field, right? It's the guys in your dugout, in the bullpen, everything. That's how you form a great culture. And Rick McCarty has done one of the greatest jobs I've ever seen of forming a culture. I loved playing for him. I will be thankful for everything he ever gave me as a player. And that man knows how to make a team.
So let's look at Baylor. They've got Mason Merritt coming onto the mound. He's got a 3.60 ERA, not as good as the pitcher that just departed, Volker, but statistically but Mason Merritt, good chance here. What do you want to see from him?
So I really want to see him command the zone. You've got a lefty up, so right, Riggs was a righty. Okay, so you're gonna pull Riggs, take your lefty up. You want your matchup, right? You want that righty on lefty matchup. Always opposite hand, opposite batter. Always favors the batter, right? So what I want to see from the pitcher is you got to establish strikes, right? You got to come out hot. You got to trust yourself. You can't try to nibble. You can't be scared, right? You got to run to work with, okay? You got to run to work with. Let it eat. That's what you got to see. And from Bryson Hill, you got to stay calm. Pinch hitting is one of the hardest jobs in all of baseball. You come out cold. You haven't swung. Usually you're in high-pressure situations. You got to be able to be calm, find your pitch, and just trust yourself.
Bryson Hill has got to be pointed out. He's batting 176 on the season, but he's slugging 529 so far. Big bat for number 10 in the first pitches. Swung on. He wanted every inch of it.
Not a bad idea. I mean, the 5-6 hole, right? That's the hole between the shortstop and the third baseman. It's pretty wide right now. You can almost fit a tractor trailer in there. If you can just find a way to punch it that way, get to the next guy. It's a great piece of hitting right there. Stay left side. That's what I've been saying all day.
Great unit of measurement there, tractor trailer. You take a look at that hack, and he held up on it a little bit too. The 0-1 pitches. Whew, shot off the end of the bat.
Yeah, he wants that one back. That's 0-1, man. He was on it just a tad late. Something he could have lined to that left side. Now 0-2, you gotta be in defense mode. You gotta see it deep. Don't get jumpy. Don't feel like you're getting beat. That's the worst thing to do. Feel like you're getting beat by the fastball, so you jump it and they throw you a bender and you look like a fool.
So maybe the biggest at-bat of the day, except for maybe that Newman 3-run shot, but Here you go, pinch hitters having a fun day today. The 0-2 pitch is far outside.
That's also hard as a reliever, man. You come in, you can only practice so much, right, in the bullpen. You can practice that off speed, but when you come into the game, that adrenaline's pumping, everything, and that was just not a non-competitive pitch, and it's hard to be able to just come in and spot it up. The big spot here. Let's see what can happen.
Merritt working out of a 1-2 count. Runners on first and second. The pitch is low in the dirt. And the throw to second. It's off his foot. Into right field. The runners advance. Ladisaw to third. Tatro to second.
So if you watch this is actually a really, really great job by Tatro. Let's see if we can get a replay maybe. If not, I'll describe what happened, because what happens here is Tatro actually sees that the ball is skidding. Ladisaw has a bad angle on that because of depth perception. He can't see how far away it's going from the second baseman. So Tatro pushes Ladisaw, tells him to go. Right here, if you can look at this, right here. Bam, Miller's not going right, he's going back. But even right here, he takes a pause, and you see Tatro's the one that pushes him out of that. Great job by Tatro, being aggressive, getting both runners in scoring position, and now a single ties the game.
Great replay there from ACUTV staff, helping us out here on a Wednesday night, and gonna do that little fake pump.
Oh, they're gonna call time, go for a little mound visit. He can't see probably. That's one of the hardest things when you have so many signs, courtesy of the Astros. Thank you very much. You have people feel like they're stealing signs, doing all this stuff. You have, it's almost like you're doing pre-algebra and calculus back there as a catcher, trying to do the right sign, throwing down a bunch of numbers. It can get confusing for yourself, for catchers, and you got to make sure you're on the same page, because if he throws a fastball and the catcher's expecting a curveball, man, that's a run that scores.
Mitch White warming up for the Wildcats in the bullpen. The 2-2 pitch is hacked at. What a hack, though. What a pitching relief effort. Mason Merritt comes in a bit cold in a windy game. We're going to head to the top of the ninth. 6-4 Baylor. Beautiful facility here in Abilene, Texas. Crutcher Scott Field on a Wednesday night, a chilly Wednesday night here in the 40s. Here in early March on the mound, Mitch White for the Wildcats, the junior right-handed pitcher coming into the game in the ninth. 6-4 game, very manageable for the Wildcats. Just got to shut down this very explosive Baylor offense.
I mean, and speaking of just shut down pitching, you really have to go back to the middle innings and talk about Garcia coming in, throwing 3 frames scoreless, not letting this ACU Wildcat offense get out to a good start. Because I mean, if they get a run or two there while he's pitching, this is a completely different game. Because right now, 1 run feels like it's 1,000. You know what I mean? So it's a great job by this Baylor pitching, especially by Garcia, really coming in, hammering the zone, and even that last reliever just doing fantastic work by the Baylor bullpen.
So a big part of the order for Baylor he's got to get through. McKenzie, Nevin, and Wesner. That's a big part of this offense today. They've been very, very effective, and he's got a lot in front of him, but I think Mitch White can get out there and try to get a good inning here. It's not exactly looking up, but it's still a very manageable situation.
100%. And really, I mean, if you're Coach Rick McCarty, you can't look to the bottom of the ninth, right? You have to live in the moment. You have to think about, hey, I'm here, I'm trying to make sure my pitcher can get through it. But man, it's tempting to look to that bottom of the ninth or even the top of the 10th. What if we get 2 runs, right? So you got to have your guy warming up right now in the bullpen unless you want to keep your reliever out there. So it's things you got to think about as a head coach.
Here's Jared McKenzie for the Bears, stepping in here in the ninth. The first pitch from White is shot up the middle. Randall Fields on to Geezer. Easy 6-3 put out.
That was smooth like butter. And not like that, I can't believe it's not butter, but like real butter. That was smooth.
As we dig in here in the ninth, ACU shifting a bit out in the infield, kind of taking it out to the extent of it. As you see the players all lined up, everyone's got sweatshirts on. Some people, you see Breck Eckelberger, the starter, he's double jacketed this evening, and for good reason. You've got to think, and first pitch is taken for a ball.
Fun fact, only pitchers get those jackets, which was kind of brutal. The bigger jackets, not the purple ones, it was kind of brutal. On cold nights, it was tough.
It's only 45.
It was tough. Oh, no, it got colder, though.
The pitch is taken for a strike. It's a 1-1 count now for Nevin. And Kyle Nevin, I mean, we talked a lot about him today. Maybe not his best day at the plate, but boy, what a day in the field he's had.
Just phenomenal. I mean, and you know, one of the best things I ever got told when I was a high school player, man, you can either produce runs or you can save runs, right? And the great players, your Mike Trouts, they produce and they save, right?
Yeah.
But you can have value either way. You want to be able to either score runs, you know, be a David Ortiz-esque person, or be a Kyle Tucker kind of person right there, and really just work on your craft and be a good defensive player.
The 1-1 pitch is outside, and you talk about that. Nevin, I mean, he's not having a bad season at the dish, batting .233. His on base is .308, and he's slugging .395. He's having a pretty solid season.
And again, it's early. You know what I mean? I mean, take a look at Freddie Freeman, how he started the first half of the Braves' 2021 run to the World Series. He wasn't even hitting his weight, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's so hard, especially baseball being such a statistic-driven sport, that you gotta give yourself time.
The pitch, what a hack there on the 3-1.
Especially because if you have a day, you know, I remember I was in college and I was probably hitting 200, and I had a day where I went 6 for 7 and my batting average jumped from 200 to 330.
Yeah.
And it was just, all right, I guess that's how it goes.
Well, you know, and that baseball as a sport, it's grown so much out of that idealist knowledge of, hey, you know, let's go out and let's look at batting average. You know, I think you're looking at things like runners in scoring position is what a fantastic pitch there from Mitch White.
Great job coming back.
Ring
right there.
him up. But as we're saying, yeah, I mean, statistics, I mean, they do not matter. It's exactly what I was talking about there at the end of the last inning. Bryson Hill, he is slugging amazingly, but he's just not hitting the ball.
And everybody has value, and I think one of the great jobs by Rick McCarty is, you know, coming in as a mid-major school, you don't have as much of a reputation as being a UT or a Baylor or an A&M, right? So you have to find guys who you have to turn into the Oakland Athletics in the 2000s, right? You got to find guys that add value, and the same thing with Baylor, right? You have a little bit bigger of a span, right? But you still can find value in everything.
Short shot into right field, gonna be trouble for Eager. Off the wall, rounding first is Wesner. The throw to second is not in time, and out of the fielder's glove. That was Bash Randall, the shortstop, fielding second. Good throw from Eager there, and little looper double into right field there.
Wow, that ball was, I mean, right here, if we watch this replay, Colton Eager made that play way closer than it should have been. That should have, any other right fielder, I think, that is a stand-up double right there. Except maybe Nevin, who's got an absolute hose. But that ball, bam, right on the money. That is a close play.
So, runner on second. That one is fouled back. Took a weird angle there from the camera. It looked like it was going forward for a minute. I had to check out the window.
Little a la Adrian Beltre dropping to a knee right there.
drop down, get a good little hit there, and fantastic chance here for Baylor. You tack on a 7th run. I mean, 3 runs is a lot.
I mean, it's
pops up on the left side, will not be able to make a play, and 0-2 count now.
I mean, it's a little deflating as a hitter or I'm sorry, as an offense, right? You go out there, you scrap for a run, and then the other offense answers immediately. It's a little defeating, and so if they can come out of this inning clean and just be chasing 2 instead of 3, that'd be huge for the Wildcats.
The 0-2 pitch is a lot of movement on that one. Thought it was going to be further outside, but it fell back in. Great job there from Mitchell Dixon.
And versus if you're the Bears, you're trying to step on the gas, right? You just got a 3-run bomb. Your pitchers have been giving up runs, right? The offense has been come alive for the Wildcats. So you're trying to tack on runs because you don't know what the 9th inning could hold. It could be a crazy ending to this game.
The 1-2 to Rodriguez is outside, same pitch, same location. Would not bite at it this time.
Looks like he's trying to aim that curveball a little bit, coming out wide, letting his shoulder drop. That means that arm flares out. He's really got to focus on keeping his front shoulder in and just spin it, right? You got to trust it and follow through on that pitch. That's how you get that curveball to land.
It'll be another 2-2. Mitch White fouled off again. .6-4 ball game here at 9:28 p.m. Been playing baseball for a little under 3.5 hours. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
The 2-2. Swung on that. That was some filthy.
Little bit of a 2-2 emergency hack right there. Wow.
Oh man, he's gonna hear about that one. Hey, we got a bottom of the 9th coming up. Stick with us. Bottom of the 9th, Abilene, Texas. Baylor trying to shut down the Wildcats. Got a 2-run lead here in the last 3 outs of the game.
Let's see if the Baylor Bears can shut the door on the ACU Wildcats. This is where moments are written right here. If you look at that swing, man, just got his doors blown off. Wasn't too happy about it.
It'll be Alexei Kazarine, the transfer from Fort Scott Community College, and the first pitch of the 9th is chopped over to third base, on to first. They get the 5-3.
That's a clutch pick right there from the first baseman. If he doesn't make that pick, the energy changes significantly, right? You get an error, you get a runner on, your lineup flips over, everything changes.
Chase Wesner, the redshirt junior first baseman, fantastic day from him, the 6'2" righty. He's a 2019 Big 12 all-freshman team. He's not really had the standout in a very good Big 12 conference as far as like accolades go, but still a fantastic player. And the first pitch to Dixon is in there for a ball.
Let's see if this ACU lineup can't flip over, can't find a way to make it work.
If there's any part of this lineup that's going to do it, it's going to be this one. Dixon lays off a 2 in a row. Merritt's got his hands full with Dixon, and next should be or will be, excuse me, Randall, and if possible, Eager. So that one is in there for a strike.
Good job by Mitchell Dixon. I know it looks like, man, how do you take a 2-0 fastball, but you got to be smart. You got to sit your pitch, right? You got to see what you can do right here, and if you're the Baylor pitcher, you got to attack right now.
The 2-1 pitch to Dixon is outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Dixon's done a great job of working the counts today.
And that's what he does. That's why he is such a successful hitter. And if you're a young kid trying to learn how to hit right now, you got to think about, hey, how do I be a successful hitter? It's not trying to hit home runs. It's trying to hit line drives backside, see balls deep.
You do what you can, you take your pitches, and you grow a wonderful mustache. That's all you've got to do.
Amen. Grow a mustache. It adds like 30 points to your batting average.
That's a fact. It's
100%.
just like the stirrup socks.
Statistical fact.
All right, 3-2, full count. The payoff pitch. Chopped over to third base again. They're going to call it foul.
Wow. I kind of thought that ball would be fair.
Almost
like you wanted that ball to be fair, because that throw might have been offline.
And so a good, which way you want to take it for Baylor, an opportunity for them there. So 3-2 count, 1 out, bottom of the ninth. Baylor leads 6-4. We've had an exciting night. Not a lot of offensive production in the early half of the game, but this second half has been explosive.
And I mean, that's teams figuring each other out. You know what I mean? Figuring out pitch calling.
The 3-2 is shot to right field, moving back. Great catch in right field. The Wildcats are down to their last out, and of course it was to Kyle Nevin. And
great job by Nevin tracking that ball down. That ball was absolutely hammered.
It is dark. It is very dark right now, and this place is very well lit, but he has not missed one today. He hasn't hesitated. Good defense. You talk about hitting in baseball, obviously it's important, but, I mean, good defense goes such a long way.
Yes, it does. The old adage, defense wins championships.
Especially in modern baseball. And here we are, bottom of the ninth. The pitches shot off to the right side.
Or unless you're Tennessee, North Carolina State, or
Liberty,
and you just hit nukes.
Yeah, so. if you're going out there and
who needs pitching when you just hit 400-foot bombs every single game?
The 1-0 pitch is taken, or the pitch is taken for a 1-0 count. Apologies. Bash Randall back in the box here late in the game. Not exactly a outstanding day. Walked in the first, single in the third, struck out in the fifth and the seventh, and here we are in the ninth. He takes the 1-0 inside for a 2-0.
Let's see if we can't get a little 2-out electricity going here. Make this game a little bit more fun, you know?
And they did it last inning. The Wildcats did it. They ended with runners on second and third. You've got Colton Eager on deck. That's enough for me to say, hey, this one's not over.
It's not over yet. Bash Randall significantly... Wow, I just totally messed up there. Really good hitter is what I was trying to say.
Great framing job there from Corton Castle, the freshman catcher, obviously coming in here and relieving Harrison Cayley, who caught a fantastic game and had a pretty good game at the plate, too. Here we go, the 2-2 pitch. Over to first. This should be it. It's bobbled. The throw to first. He is out at first. The Bears win 6-4. Fantastic job from this offense and defense. Have a great night.